Scientific discussion titled Reviving Loktak, a discourse on conservation and sustainable management of Loktak Lake. Organized with the intention of igniting informed dialogue and collaborative solutions, today's function brings together scientists, researchers, policymakers, community voices, and students to reflect on the lifeline of Manipur, our precious Loktak Lake. Let us now prepare to receive our honored dignitaries who have graciously joined us for this meaningful occasion. We would like to begin this segment with a brief announcement. As many of you were looking forward to hearing from our esteemed guest of honor of today's function, Professor Khetrimayum Birbal Singh, Dean, School of Human and Environmental Science, Dhanamanjuri University. We regret to inform you that due to an unforeseen emergency, he will not be able to join us today as scheduled. I was informed that he might join later in the evening. We thank you for understanding and continued support. Now it is my honor to introduce our distinguished guest, Professor W. Chandbabu Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Dhanamanjuri University, as chief guest, and Professor Koizam K.K. Manibhushan Singh, Head, Department of Environmental Science, Dhanamanjuri University, and the chairman of today's event as president of today's session. On behalf of the organizing committee, I have the honor to welcome you all, sir. In keeping with the rich tradition of our land, we now honor our esteemed dignitaries with the traditional lengyan, a mark of deep respect and cultural pride. May I invite the co-convener of today's function, Dr. Binota Thoksom, Assistant Professor, Department of Environmental Science, Dhanamanjuri University, to come forward and respectfully present the lengyan dignitaries. Thank you, Dr. Binota. We now proceed with a sacred ritual, the offering of water to our state tree, Uningthau, a symbol of strength and sustainability. May I invite our dignitaries to kindly perform this offering. This ritual signifies our commitment to ecological harmony and deep-rooted respect for nature. Thank you, sir. Next, we present a cultural performance, the traditional Pena Sahyau Isai, titled Loktak Imabu Saithaba. This performance reflects deep emotional and spiritual bond between the people of Manipur and Loktak Lake. Please welcome Telena Sorokhaibam for this beautiful performance. Hello.
Manipur's ano umayon lain thaba sai ma bel na lai je y lăng lăng bờ đi cha yang mình thề ban lâm mi hay các sâu chín cha bờ lâm cha rong này mai tu bờ lâm thong chính này mai tu bờ lâm sang ai công vi chỉ rong vi cây bul lâm giàu để chơi ca vi Manipur sang nào lấy người yêu lại nơi đây à bờ lâm đầm Loktak ki sai ma bel na lai je y lăng lăng bờ đi sai yang mình thề ban đam mi hay các sâu chín cha bờ lâm cha rong này mai tu bờ lâm thong chính này mai tu bờ lâm sang ai công vi chỉ rung vi cây bul lâm giàu để chơi ca vi Manipur imagi lâm đầm mi lai nơi đây thả bờ lâm đầm mi lai nơi đây thả bờ ghi lâm đầm mi kê ghi na mùi rong ngã lấy ba đi hậu đây khó na bong bê lâm chính ma ghi mà sai cồn kê ghi mà vẫn dài đi đâu salai teri manung jan salai teri manung jan moi rang salai ki kunda phang sonari ba mai kai sonari ba mai cây ha khôi nâu yi mu da yi mu ha tư khôi nâu yi mu da yi mu lâm lên lúc cao không ban đêm ha nâu nè đi sang sang nâu na na lên đô li ba lâm se cao riêng salo chari bula ni ngon bung ni ngu le da a khoi nâu ha de khoi nâu yi mu da yi lâm lên thong gờ chính trong đi chính trong đi chính để son vi chính trong lấy chính để son vi chính trong lấy rong lâm vang chín bờ đi thâu đô nung gai mà thật cao lấy rong chui na kín bờ đi ôi bi bông mi nung le da ha khôi nâu ha tư khôi nâu yi mu da yi mu da yi mu da yi mu. Thank you.
To commence the event, I now invite the convener of the program, Dr. Rajkumar Jinkai, Assistant Professor, Department of Environmental Science, Dhanamanjuri University, to deliver the welcome and keynote address.
Makha Chathabayana by Ngasigi keynote Amadi welcome address Sathazagi. Honorable Vice Chancellor of Dhanamanjuri University, Oza Professor Chan Babu, Ngasigi Chief Guest Winner Dengsin Biriba, Bo Aham Batata Taram Okchuri, Winner Ngasigi Function Sigi, President Gi, Pamunanda Dengsin Biriba, Oza Professor Keke Manipur Busu Taram Okchuri, Nimbirak Liba, respected deans of various schools, respected HODs of various departments, esteemed invited guests, directors, CEOs of the government departments, expert speakers, members of the faculty, students, members of the media, and their participants. I extend my warmest welcome to all of you in this one-day discourse on reviving Loktak Lake. It is a great honor and privilege to deliver the keynote address at this important discourse. Loktak Lake, often referred to as the lifeline of Manipur, is not just the largest freshwater lake in northeastern India, but a dynamic and sacred ecosystem deeply interwoven with the cultural, ecological, and economic fabric of the region. It sustains thousands of livelihoods, supports biodiversity, including the endangered sangai, and it is recognized globally as a Ramsar site of international importance. Yet, as we gather here today, Loktak is in distress. We are witnessing a slow but alarming degradation of its open water surface areas, the once vibrant water being suffocated by the uncontrolled growth of fumdis, the floating biomass that once played a natural role in the lake ecosystem, but today, due to mismanagement and human interference, had become a burden. Pollution, encroachment, sedimentation, and unregulated development have pushed Loktak into a fragile state. What was once a self-sustaining ecosystem is now under constant ecological stress. This forum is therefore timely and crucial. Today's discourse aims to do more than just raise awareness. It seeks to encourage environmental experts, policymakers, academicians, and local communities in meaningful dialogue. It again seeks to reflect on the present challenges and degradation of Loktak Lake. It also aims to propose innovative, inclusive, and ecologically sound strategies for managing fumdis, reclaim and restore open surface water and biodiversity, align conservation goals with local livelihood needs. In the spirit of sustainability, scientific intervention, and community participation, we must force a path that ensures that Loktak thrives, not just for generation, but for the generations to come, not only for our generations. Let us remember, conservation is not an isolated act. It is a collective responsibility. We are all stakeholders in the health of Loktak. I therefore invite all scholars, experts, students, journalists, and members of the local communities to contribute your ideas and voices freely. May today's deliberation become the starting point of a larger, sustained movement for restoring the ecological integrity of Loktak Lake. Let this not be just a discourse, but a commitment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Rajkumar Chinkhai, for that insightful keynote. Now it is my privilege to call upon the chief guest of today's function, Professor W. Chanbabu Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Dhanamanjuri University, to address the gathering. Please, sir.
One-day scientific discussion on the topic Reviving Loktak, a discourse on conservation and the sustainable management of Loktak Lake. Hyper discussion sigi asigi thauram asigi President Pampham Lang the Lingshin Biriba Professor K.K. Manibusan Singh aduga Lengbireba asigi resource person Singh aduga khogi media gi khogi yam hena khang heraba thoiba team gi mayam kho yaubiri aduga Manipur gi research scholar mayama students mayama aduga loina khogi atop field da work tawriba scientists mayam asu ngasi gi lengbira pasima yamna laibok phabani aharam pa ta mayam puna ko taramna opchari. Well, hoji aikoina Manipur Loktak si asuki matik important oiba mafam amani haibasidi aikoi mikum pudimona khangi mi khudimangna yai koi Loktak haise very important part of our Manipuri society, Manipur gi culture, Manipur gi civilization, Manipur da laiba mipung khudimangna Loktak si asuki matik important oi haibasidi pung khudimangna yai adabu Loktak ki phibam si hoji aikoi ne yeng matamda noma gi ma gi phibam si phachil laktaba environmentally maso ecologically aikoi yenguragadi Loktak si pura pollute tawdana laisalakpa sigi pollute tobagi chang si next another 50 years pawasa thadana lairagadi Loktak si laigadra maso lairoidra haibasimak maybe a big question in our mind aduna hairiba sigimba issues mayam si yengurakanda why not Dhanamanjuri University take a lead for a discussion on this particular aspect, basically a scientific and academic discussion. Adugi makha tarapada aikoina society da lairiba policy makers, society da lairiba civil society organizations, society da hingiba citizen punamagna kari karamba mawongda akoigi Loktak si revive tawnaba, Loktak ki ecosystem si maintain tawnaba, Loktak si aikoigi tana thana yadraba Manipuri society ki amasung North Eastern region ki khwaidagi hena maruoiba mafam ama ohenabagi damukta kari kedoba yagadagi haibagi policy program adugi implementation ki strategies mayam ka form tawminarnabagi aikoigi ahanba saihau step ni haiba tare masi ihanan ba step ni akoina Dhanamanjuri University tawriose aduna academic institutions singchina akoigi lairiba akoigi ecosystem si karamaina matam kuina sangna adagi lakaduriba futures generation singchina Loktak si akoigi forefather khena akoigi ancestors mayam sina kanbiramdana akoise ngasidi Loktak si phajagraba mafam hujik phabu oiduna lairi haidana singthana ba yabagi level da akoi karamaina Loktak si thamam sigi haibagi line du dani akoina sangsilakwa pamise madu tabumatamda akoigi academicians singi contribution, scientists mayangi contribution, civil society organizations mayangi contribution, public ki contribution, citizens punamaki contribution, policy makers ki contribution, politicians mayangi contribution sigi mayam si loy maksangi baneba. And besides that masigumbagi level sigi asoba initiative ama amasung awareness ama porona bo hona pada akoigi print amasung electronic media da work tawriba akoigi day and night awaba khangdana honariba akoigi media gi team sigi responsibility so asuki matik important oy haina ai thamjage aduna aikoina ngasi lakhalaiba a discourse on conservation and the sustainable management of Loktak Lake. It is very timely and it is need of the hour never say aduna hujik ai di masigi matang da yam sangadi discussion tawjaroi hujik akoigi expert team mama sigi matang da discussion hawana begitam to hujik ready lerabani aduna we will start listening from our distinguished experts on this particular topic and thank you for initiating this activity by the Department of Environmental Science at Dhanamanjuri University. I'm so thankful to the department and to all other members who are involved in this particular program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your motivating words. To complete the inaugural segment, I now invite the president of today's session, Professor Koizam K.K. Manibushan, Head, Department of Environmental Science, Dhanamanjuri University, to deliver his presidential remarks.
A very good afternoon to all. That I matam sangnadi laujaroi because all the experts, team experts are here. So Honorable Vice Chancellor of Dhanamanjuri University, Professor W. Chan Babu Singh, respected guest of honor, Professor K.S.H. Virbal Singh is not there today because of certain emergency work, and Principal of Constituent Colleges of Dhanamanjuri University, Dean of different schools, respected directors, IQAC, and all the directors present here, and officials of Directorate of Environment and Climate Change, all the esteemed experts, moderator, media personnels, invitees, faculty members, and students, that first and foremost, I express my greetings to one and all here in this scientific discussion on reviving Loktak, a discourse on conservation and sustainable management of Loktak Lake, which is taking all this importance about the Loktak, which has been placed in front of all of us by our chief guest, that taking all this account that the Department of Environmental Science under the aegis of Dhanamanjuri University have organized this discourse, this scientific critical discourse. So considering this ecological status and its biodiversity, and as it's there in the Ramsar Convention, that this particular critical discourse has been organized. So there is a need to analyze from every section, from every societies, about the past of the Loktak Lake and the present scenario and what would be the future projection. Yes, we all know that, as my little knowledge is concerned, that Loktak undergoes a natural aging process. It's a natural, no permanent, of the natural lake is there. So we all know that it's being accumulated of organic materials, minerals are gradually filling up this due to the human activities of areas, like say nutrients from catchment areas, the agricultural runoff containing of the synthetic chemicals and pesticides, we all know about it, and the sewage which have been done from a point source and a non-point source, all this accumulated in this, and this will certainly lead to an expedite aging process, which we refer as a cultural eutrophication. Yes, we all know about this, that there is aging process. You can easily, if I can give you an example, that a life example is a Loktak part. What is the condition of now, which was there when we were young? And it's all filled with encroachment and settlement. It's a vivid example of natural lakes which is on a dying process. Yes, that a Loktak is at what stage, that we need to carry out all the assessment from various angles, from the scientific assessment is required, that what is at this stage, whether it is in the oligotrophics, very low nutrients, or it's in the highly rich nutrients is there, whether it's a eutrophic already or not. So, and we also, it's being reported very, particularly the invasive species, which will certainly harm than the benefit in a Loktak ecosystem. So this creates a competitive dynamics in the wetland ecosystem. Adu Haidiba lake ase mamangdana karamaina taromi how, what was the size, and it was there at a self purification, because we need to introspect all these points, because it has to be carried out all the assessment from time to time, say spatial temporal analysis of the water quality, which is very, very much need of the hour, whether say about the dissolved oxygen concentration need to be checked from time to time, and it's whether it's a hypoxic condition or not. So all this important point that Loktak is the right time for us to discuss on this particular topic. And so to check it, integrated approach is required. Environmental and, or you can say that civil engineering will play a very good role in a very constructive ideas to capture the eroded soil which has been infiltrated, or it's been there in the Loktak before it's letting it into the Loktak lake. This is one point. And that the Loktak hydro project may be the one cause. So that is why we need to carry out the environmental impact assessment very properly, so that to check what would be the condition and to minimize the sediment load which has been introducing in the Loktak lake. Of course, the riparian vegetation studies is also required. So beyond, we have laid down in the leaflets which is placed on a table that there are some proposed agendas and expected outcomes. So we need to think beyond our proposed agenda and expected outcomes. All our, say, esteemed experts definitely will come up with a strong conclusive recommendation for a long-term conservation. And finally, I wish that one day scientific discussion on a revival Loktak, a critical discourse on conservation and a sustainable management of Loktak lake will be a great success. And with this, I would like to wind up here, so that I will leave it for the esteemed experts to come up with a conclusive ideas to bring our Loktak, because Maliam Sida Takliba say Manipur Maliam Sida Takliba say we always talk about the culture, we talk about the sports, and this Loktak is also one of it. So thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir, for that insightful address. With the blessings and guidance of our dignitaries, we now move into the core of today's program, the scientific discourse on the conservation and sustainable management of Loktak Lake. To lead and navigate the upcoming session, we are honored to introduce our moderator for the day, Mr. Salam Rajesh, member IUCN, Commission on Environmental, Economic and Social Policy, and our reporter, Dr. Likmabam Sanjoy Meitei, Assistant Professor, Department of Environmental Science, Dhanamanjuri University. I now warmly welcome on stage Mr. Salam Rajesh and Dr. Likmabam Sanjoy Meitei to kindly take your seat on the dais. Thank you, sir. As a token of appreciation, we now offer the Lengyan to our moderator and reporter. May I request Dr. Vedavati Laitonjam, Assistant Professor, Dhanamanjuri University, to kindly come forward and honor our guest with Lengyan. Thank you. At this moment, I would like to invite the 6 distinguished technical experts to kindly come forward and take their chairs on the dais. They are Professor Khetrimayum Lal Bihari Singha from Department of Botany, Manipur University, Professor P. Albino Kumar, Department of Civil Engineering, NIT Manipur, Professor Raju Singh Khoyangbam, Department of Environmental Science, Manipur University, Dr. Tensubam Basanta Singh, Scientist, Soil Science, ICAR, Manipur, Dr. Birla Maivam, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, Dhanamanjuri University, and Dr. Rajiv Kangabam, Lead, Manipur Technology Information Hub, Information Technology IT Park, Manipur. Kindly all take your seats on the dais. Thank you. It is now my honor to invite convener of today's program, Dr. Rajkumar Singhai, Assistant Professor, Department of Environmental Science, as well as co-convener of today's function, Dr. Binota Thoksom, Assistant Professor, Department of Environmental Science, to felicitate our esteemed experts by presenting the Lengyan as the mark of respect and their valuable contributions to the discourse on Loktak's convention. Thank you very much. With this, we officially commence this scientific discourse on the conservation and sustainable management of Loktak Lake. To guide us through the discussions and interactions today, I hand over the proceedings to our moderator, Mr. Salam Rajesh, member of the IUCN Commission on Environmental, Economic and Social Policy. Our rapporteur, Dr. Likmapam Sanjoy Meitei, will document the proceedings. Please, sir. Thank you.
Oja Chan Babu na sumaina program tau si hari na yaw dia dia na kan hai bedegi asi program si amu flat number mo rega so ye tu re ara ngasi mayam university ki adigi college ki distinguished professors scholars official mayam gathering tu ara ngasai chikai na su opening the yam important point kar thambira me adiga mo honorable bc na su yam relevant over point Loktak se ahakidi IUCN ki level na Loktak se national plus international discussion da akoi ki India ki wetlands in nainara koda chilika leka Loktak ka se always karai nung yaure adi problem issue se wetland loi na problem issue lei adoga he na critically mayam na yeng mada chilika leka Loktak ka se adum hojikti amu kano asang bi depor bill se amu khara yoksile problem se similar problems hai tare problem multitude problem ni ado similar encroachment gi edi physical modification lakpa the eutrophication gi kari gi edi biodiversity loss ki sapane bi discussion da ado ngasi gi smaina DMU na sinbiri ba programs ai gi di Loktak ta kuina now almost 33 years Loktak ka sawana ri je asigi discussion che yam time ni way very late but akhoi ki English hayu very late but never hayu sapudi very late sin su phabam le adara Loktak se asa horen jabi hari hoy kari hoy raji boy mayam le ri raju hoy le ri problem do putok pirakani but in reality the have the almost every month Loktak se adada every visit kuding gi change kara di observe to either physical encroachment वगैरह modification वगैरह नत्रगा aquatic invasive species मसक हम दो संग पो वगैरह अदु मामा नत्रा मदी problem भी थिंग नहीं वो अदु हॉजिक से currently Ramsar convention की यहाँ ना कोप convention of parties के योग जब दा convention on migratory species की convention योग जब बगंदा यहाँ ना assembly ते पुकली से India की Ramsar site हॉजिक 85 plus current later I see manungda Ramsar convention Ramsar secretary na review do say only has worked the chilika kaptung I fully my current status adike kari film lai quality officially Ramsar side na Ramsar convention na kumdhara kan da scientist man kumdhara kan yeng mo se chilika kaptung I da I na Ramsar ki secretary general nupi do da kanama thamjabani apilama I did next to Chilika, one of the most controversial, one of the most degraded wetland haitare. Loktak ni aduga ahaki appeal da ahaki argument da ani khak horen discussion da so ja bihari so panbirakani khali ahaki argument se makoina tabina bla argument da because Loktak Ramsar site se is located in two international biodiversity hotspot amba khaktana taba Indo-Burma biodiversity hotspot manungda Loktak su leire adiga mu Eastern Himalaya biodiversity hotspot manungda leiba wetland ni and because of that Ramsar convention Loktak specific mi ang sangi ba sangi haidana wari tawde adada masidida kitang tenjala ba last point very important akhoi gi ngasigi discussion forums da su aduga MU gi kari gi leiribo oja singna su naina bi gada umna official level da ngasi wakta government of Manipur natra government of India na tackle dog dog se akhoi gi depor asam gi depor bill ga Manipur gi Loktak lake se sigi wetland Ramsar site ani se these are included in the working plan of Indo-Burma regional Ramsar secretary masigi office Bangkok te lei Bangkok ki director da unare wari sanare man hari se akhoi gi working plan gi manungda noi depor bill ga Loktak ka singi but because government of India has so far we have not been given permission to come adona moi se depor bill ga Loktak ka hundoma kanda atai Myanmar da Cambodia da Laos da fajana tawe ahang na yengjab da moi gi yam scientific oi adegi moi gi conservation gi restoration project se Cambodia da ga adegi inle da tawi to yamna fajana chagjal haitare ada moina director na haibu su ani se depor bill ga Loktak ka se changningi man haibu we have been trying for the last 7-8 years to come to Loktak but so far government of India has not given us the permission hai ada makhoi gi kana ko mana Google da sangbiraga ajiki Indo-Burma Ramsar regional kano se secretariat ki my website ki kano do geographical map to yeng kan di akhoi notice India ji cover to bone moi gi working kan to Southeast Asia gi country manga taruk se cover to re aduga notice sibok moi kano sidai da Indo-Burma biodiversity hotspot ki campaign makha da akhoi se cover to adubo very unfortunately hojik ngasai oja Chan Babu na thambiri dumaina Loktak se hojik lai pibam sidai da sum hundoga di if there is no scientific assessment intervention maruai na duka policy maker I think ngasi kano so Dr. Barzok ma su lingbiri mana kano ni akhoi Manipur State Wetland Authority ki nodal official ni I think horen bisi ga jongta session lorga critical discussion am sangi di what are we going to do Loktak se hojik lai ba Loktak se sum thamaga di horen uja biharin su haibira kani ecosystem je automatic degrade tawre degrade se akhoi na physically bit scientist natra su mina yeng mada yadre loi haine adegi angonda di visual je pai lere adi pollution load plastic load waste domestic urban Loktak ta kam carry tawri every monsoon nong megi nong hek lak pa se ai de par chale yengi load che imphal legi namul tore na kam pori kholi nahan da su akhoi gi director environmental ga ithai beres da cheng kan da plastic mathak ta mi chat pe ya sa ya re automatic layer se aduna hang na su Dr. Brazok ma sung war chana bada problem issues di horen discuss ke naina bi bada yaw bi rakanen khali Loktak ke problem se ani ni amana superficial abag the water gi problem abag the water da kari lege invasive weeds adegi floating waste man but I get more concerned what is happening under the water aduni adu akhoi di pure scientist na tamina du sang dire horen rajiboy kari hoina men hena discuss tawning body scientist na discuss tawning body I have ki personal opinion di what is happening under the water Loktak ki surface manung da hojik se akhoi ki tobuli janga lilai karom meng pan power lambi de ki Loktak rom da nambul turin da changbi ga di siltation nasai chingle na su chingkhai na su panbi gare siltation problem je adu da phajana urani Loktak se kam thengal lage je adegi pollution load ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯌꯥꯡꯒꯣꯏ ꯑꯆꯧꯕ ꯃꯔꯤꯟ ꯆꯠꯂꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯃꯦꯛꯁꯤꯃꯝ ꯄꯣꯂꯨꯁꯟ ꯂꯣꯠ ꯐꯤꯖꯤꯀꯦꯂꯤ ꯎ ꯐꯪꯒꯅꯤ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯅꯝꯕꯨꯜ ꯇꯨꯔꯦꯟꯒꯤ ꯑꯦꯝꯕꯦꯡꯃꯦꯟꯁꯦ ꯑꯦꯝꯕꯦꯡꯃꯦꯟꯁꯤꯗꯩꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯎꯒꯤ ꯔꯤꯡꯗ ꯑꯦꯖ ꯊꯤꯕꯗꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯥꯁꯇꯤꯛ ꯂꯦꯌꯔꯁꯦ ꯊꯤꯕ ꯌꯥꯏ ꯏꯁꯤꯡꯁꯦ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯀꯪꯗꯀꯥꯟꯗ how many layer of plastic has been embedded in the river bank layer by layer aina yemde at least 8 layer di uiba plastic se maron sum plastic matak lebang thonjan giba adu matak tam thonjan giba aduna sum adu gi problems na ngara na jokoi directed environment microplastic ki khanar kanda adu gi factor ma chaw na khana nei na ga ba plastic pollution gi lake ecosystem ga aduna I have the mayam thamning city any scientist any researcher natraga conservation practitioner na Loktak kumba khanda you will find everything ecological problem yengera Loktak ta thingnani adiki biodiversity problem thingnagera Loktak ta thingnani adi pollution gi thingnabigera study to bigera Loktak ta dumdai adiki human conflict yengbigera Loktak ta loi dai adi any social ecological environmental economic any issue Manipur Loktak ta loi phange adi phajaba wari aphaba wari di natreuja or negative point ngam tani aduna masi DMU ne initiate toraga academic discussion Loktak ki tawsiye na sinjab langjab sida I have a concern di ngasi gi discuss torani from here where can we go the next question do madu thamjara kanda kitang tenjin jara kanda yahanan ba ko gi speaker MU gi uja bihari na list the professor Lal Bihari Sinha department of botany na hobby ta re time da je uja kharaga time je 15 oh adudi kitang ngang ita masih kano ne apai ki modern time ki electronic ki too much dependence on electronics adugi issue mali singaina asideta na wet like
respected chief guest of this function, Professor W. Chanbabu, then president of this function, other faculty members, expert members, students and scholars. So my topic is, see, Loktak, as we know, it's so vast. It's a miniature of universe, I should say. So when you go through it, the resources are infinite. The problems associated are also infinite. Now we have to go side by side, understanding the problem, utilizing the resource on a sustainable way. So understanding the importance of Loktak, say we talk about the reviving Loktak. So before reviving Loktak, we should know what is the current status of Loktak. So for that course, when I was with LDA, Loktak Development Authority, for 3 years, consecutively we were hunting the problems associated, what are the prospects, how we can come out with the issues. So those are either directly or indirectly linked to the surroundings, to the upstreams of the river basins, as well as the valleys, floodplains, and the downstream linking to the lake. Finally, the big issue is with the exit, because there is no exit. So before the launching the Ithai Barrage, Loktak was simply a whirlpool in the river basin. It was never been as such lake. Now it is absolutely a what do you say, lentic ecosystem. So before the Ithai Barrage, it was just a whirlpool. Turian marin the irayam layram bada khara lu mafam do khoi Loktak sine. So hojikti dam do thingjan garbanina magi irei toromaga chenda gi do mayam do dam do block torobina. It is no more what do you say, lotic ecosystem. Aduna that linked and attracted so many problems. So we understood the problems. After understanding the problem, lot of recommendations are also given to the Ministry of no, Government, Ministry of India, different sections of Ministry of India, including Government of Manipur. But the actions, so who will take the actions and when the actions will be taken, is a big issue. So despite discussing what are the biodiversity, what are the plants or animals, microflora, microfauna, or siltation, my point is, many of our researchers, I understand that all the resource persons are very much significant and resourceful, highly learned and understood about the Loktak, will be presenting in different sectors. Sida mayamgi attraction se kada idil lake hai da plastic si no begi no pollution thui hai ra di yaad reva. Ado plastic se di source the thing ado neva. Sari hum the thing do yaro. And secondly, we have to withdraw our utilization. Akoi na leid ragdi kada iolu do no. Ado na leid am susange. So for that, Loktak ta river resource mayam sida quite the maman labor resource se akoi na quite the waru river resource to ni. Waru in the sense how to manage it. Fumdi is in it. But when I was standing here, it was 2020 when I just landed to Imphal in Manipuri University, joining Manipur University. So my first visit was Loktak. And the fellow follower is a Canadian citizenship. So he wanted to see actually what is there in Loktak. So he visited here for 7 days and explored the wildlife like Kaibul-Lamjau National Park. Then, why I was there? Fumdi se matamdu tu so in ek uda ma se sanao no gave. So it's just like a gold. That is why I took the terminology, the blue carbon gold mine of Manipur. Loktak river Fumdi se blue carbon gold mine. So now the costliest invisible material in the world is carbon dioxide. It's one among the costliest invisible materials. Carbon dioxide nuchite yaru bise koina kamai tawduna harvest togodoino habi policy sini kayamna harvest tore habi policy sini carbon dioxide se ekoina harvest tawdunte ekoina thajeri be uaduna harvest tawguni. That is how the carbon trade developed. So the latest marketing in the globe for an invisible thing is global carbon trade. So the same principle I applied here to realize that whatever Fumdis are there accumulating every year in the Loktak, if we realize it as a gold mine, so at the moment, if I proceed, here I just wanted to realize that Loktak se kadaile ekoi loina khangi. So actually this map shows the land use, land cover, how it changed from time to time. It was for 2022, how the land cover changed by different construction activities, road construction, encroachment, yum Loktak Fibanda, sum tapthuaga yum sajilakpa, mathakta leiriba chingdo intharaga Loktak Fibanda yum sajilakpa. So a lot of fights were there in between LDA and other managerial of the Loktak Lake, including fishery department, forest department, public yam toina masigi grievances mayama thoi. So sigi write up say in handak latest compilation for one of the project for utilization of these Fumdis. Sida yauriba data say one of the real datas published by many authors from Manipur itself. Magi resourcing say karaida karile biodiversity, plant diversity, animal diversity. So I am not going much in detail. Sida extinct oigiba nga kharasu yaure hana leramba nga hana lejeramba hojik leitraba endemic species oiba koi sida ta phangba adu maduda ai yam kupna nainajar roi. So I am just showing it. So what is the depth? Akoi chaurak na Loktak se Loktak ki ising se kaya bhawu lei quite lu hom se around 4.6 meter. Mamang I see more than 8 to 10 meter euro maybe maya isida matamamada during the rainy season. But now due to that regular siltation, damna chendaraiba apotpa amotpa siltation silt mayamdu naksala thamamnina, they are all siltations going on in the basin. Quite lu say around 4.6 meter in the highly flooded season. Admai tawdra magi average depth say 2 meter kaktangaire. Next, coming to the elevation and area. So area is 287 square kilometers. This is variable. When there is a flooded, it may go above. Adjoining wetlands, Loktak Matina Taba, Macha Lake Leriba, Mayamadu, Punjal Agadima areas, it goes beyond 300 square kilometers. So, considering that, what we have seen, the variations in the water level, dam se sage matungda, magi water level say almost constant in a lake. Summer the lady ising do changdo winter ki yamna lien season lakma to suma se nga thamani sing sung wang like reva So that is also not good for a lake like Loktak. So Loktak Kumbal lakes, it should be working functionally, ecologically, very survival and viable when it is a pulsating and ising chamu wang hagata seasonally, ising chamu handa gita winter da. Adun magi very essential itabana maram moiraga. There are a lot many ecological imbalances taking place. Now, if we see through Google Earth, we will be looking something Loktak like that. And this solid biomass, which are the Kaibul Lamjau National Park, which is always permanent. Here, amidst, we can see Karang Island. Now, the issues are coming. So, floating fumdis. Fumdis is the koina makal ani thona khaidwe. Amana fixed permanent fumdis. The group amana floating fumdis. So, floating fumdis are the fast expanding fumdis. अखोई nga yo poi damakta ring ban semi du floating fundi ni moise nuksina hummaga du maige da sum pura satpa. So this floating fundi and the permanent fundi, so these two permanent fundis are usually isolated in the Kaibul Lamjau National Park and expanding towards the northern side. So that also now due to this continuous submersion, most of the fundis are becoming thinning. Adu da ni koina sangai se chuongom tamde yahuda na makha sangraga lupasi yawi. The Pumdi am Patarak Moraga. Continuous flooding. So when I assessed 2011, 2016 and 2022 for the 3 years, the pattern of area occupied by different wetland components in Loktak Lake. So this is the open water space, blue color, white top floating fumdis and permanent fumdi. So there is you can see the declining trend of this open water body, the first blue line every year. Fumdi is open areas because it also involves by the encroachment. Asumda nga yoka kangu karana su pukri taura kom tarong nga yoka lam kanjan giba. The island karada leriba miyo sing sida leba interaga dum inchalakpa. So that causes that open areas sum chai kuting sum picture have the area of the lake is declining. So this is a great concern. So floating fumdi and the fixed or the permanent fumdi, there was a variation among these two. 2011 to 2016 there was a sharp decline in this floating fumdis. So see maramje hangukanda Japan gi matamdu the fun khara lebadagi LTA na ayamba fumdi machinery sinara lawthokiba. Otherwise chahi 2011 to 16 the fumdi gi declining trend se yam severe and sharp oibneba. See this is in square kilometer area moine cover tawgi se. Adu yam chao na parks na cover tawro fumdi je lawthoki. But fun laktabadagi amuk thabak tapthag vina maram oraga 2016 to 22 se masam ko hengal. So fumdi covers it. Now fumdi volume. So it will be surprising how much million cubic meters of fumdi are there. So whatever fumdi, either it may be a floating fumdi or the permanent fumdi, see volume say 22,028 or 21,841. See total volume. The floating fumdi ga natraga fixed or permanent fumdi ga say this is in millions of cubic meters. It's a very huge stock of biomass. The sigi biomass is in a passenger the solution, one of the solution. Fumdi biomass say kayumay dry method convert to this is also in million tons. Surprisingly, dry matter contains only 7.8% of the fresh fumdi. Fresh fumdi se oven dry to rokan the market dry matter se only 7.8% katan. Aduna maram oraga density of fresh fumdi si chaurakna 780 kilogram per cubic meter do magi weight se koi fresh oraga di 780 kilogram per cubic meter. Cubic meter ani na Maruti karam de na lummeva. My weight se polapakana 780 kilogram multiply by 2 1500 kilogram karam de imana lumme cubic meter ani na aduna Loktak ki expenditure se yam wang eba moje cubic meter da lokthok gi pesa se leba per cubic meter lupa su araga 153 to 250 rupees per cubic meter. Aduna cubic meter se somda the millions of cubic meter le rakuni na mogi expenditure se chahiye mata 1.2 to 1.5 crore spent only for removing the fumdi from the Loktak lake. Others limited quantities, maybe 1 lakh to 1.2 lakhs of cubic meters. So that brings that dry weight of fumdi contains around only 78 kilogram. Asagi 780 kilogram remember fresh weight to when oven dry convert over the only 78 kilogram per cubic meter. That is 1:10 ratio now. Magila is 1:10 fresh weight and dry weight. Now, organic carbon say analyzed for the 3 consecutive years, masida oxidizable and non-oxidizable carbon si yaure. Aduna total carbon content say around 36.36. Because this is an aquatic, lot of aquatic macrophytes are there. Aquatic and terrestrial plant differs in the term that almost all the terrestrial plants, including the trees, contain around 45 to 47% carbon. Less inorganic carbon. There's our organic carbon. But in case of these aquatic macrophytes, in terms of FUMDI, the pure organic carbon is around only 27.93, whereas carbonates, carbon containing in the form of carbonates, calcium carbonate, sodium carbonate, so that increases and contributing around 8.43. Aduna whole biomass convert to bukanda magi S content of S or minerals yam wang yawi. Normal plant, any plant product natraga plant material ama burn to bukanda. So with multiplication factor of that carbon content, total carbon lock in FUMDI. Nasagi weight to million tons the legramina hosik la ibisem tung yengyu. Floating FUMDI the 105 million tons in the year 2011. Next 71 million. Total the coin yenka the 641 million tons of carbon nila is 620 million tons of carbon, and finally in 2022 it was 635 million tons of carbon. Now coming to the carbon, see carbon is going to asina soil gini aside no plant gini. Although all the soils on the planet are try to accumulate carbon in different forms, every year they accumulate. But in case of Loktak, we have seen around 4. This is 4 is again 4 million tons. 2016 3.8 million tons. 2022 3.3 million tons. They are already locked in the soil. Sigi lock wariba soil the lock wariba carbon sigi is going to claim the wajai. That is that in the form of carbon credits. But that should be in progressive, not in regressive. Chahi kudingi hengat pe methau tai handa budi yati. So hengali badui do chahi kudingi ekhoina claim to budi yai. So carbon pool in Loktak Lake overall, when you see soil ka plant ka carbon pool se punjal lubaka anda my quantity says 645, 624, and last 2022 the 639 million tons of carbon. Yam graba carbon se koi terrestrial world le ribasi carbon se growing strong ataba sequestration compared to already it is exceeding more than 2 to 3 times. Loktak Lake na sequester to river carbon se around 2 to 3 times more than the carbon sequestering in the terrestrial world of Manipur itself. 1 hectare the 60 to 70 kilograms khatani terrestrial world sequestration to is. Whereas these are all annual crops. Chahi kudingi mai puthoibe porse that itself is a productivity. Aduna Madrid the 150 tons dollars, that itself is a sequestered carbon. So that we can claim directly. So this ring buns, so it is very beautiful and it is an attraction of the tourist particularly. Sigi ring buns se artificial in natural nate. Aduga sigi artificial ring buns se they also regulated later on. This ring bun is one of the very severe cause for expanding the FUMDIs in the Loktak Lake. LD na phana sienga ga su sigi ring bun se public na chalaga nga yung na ba sum siemba sida magi diameter sem tang yengbiu 116 meters ring bun na magi diameter se 116 meters. Adi football ground namuga chawu managra ring bun magi ring bun se. So that expansion ring bun si manung da mo koina ring bun si manung da taseng badi karim leite adubu chahi amada magi FUMDI khara mapa da leibidu sandora pasina that can expand more than half of the ring bun in a single year. Adu 100 meter ki ring bun semba kanda mi amana magi ring bun manga leiragadi he is contributing to expand this FUMDI in the lake to half a kilometer or more than a kilometer. Adu eragadi this is one of the severe issues. So that also raised during LDA expert advisory committee that restriction should be there to proliferate the ring buns. Let it be for fishing, even though who will regulate and who will remove these FUMDIs from the ring bun. See yam chawai issue ma thengnagi matamduda. Now all these ring buns, so you can see one ring bun collides to the other ring bun when expanding and it becomes the whole Loktak Lake encompassed by the FUMDIs. Kanada taina do no. Amada hayune aigi ring bun disim khatani, amada hayune aigi disim khatani, but all the ring buns are now connected. Someone can start walking from one corner of lake to the other corner of lake through these ring buns. So this is very severe issue and among the these FUMDIs. Now, this is the final slide. I just want to convey. Sigi slide say yeng matung dane koina any type of, say, let it be a conservation issue, let it be a management issue or sustainable management issue, where incomes need to be generated. Income khara generate tawnabu lambi sindragadi madudeti to kananomna yam toina regularly paisa thada base, even government will also decline. Adudagi ekhoi government ge pothok kari lai senthok kari lai hai yeng akani. So that income has to be equalized and balanced for sustainable management. This is the proposed tawjari. See, if we see the log carbon in Fumdi, 639 million, that is ton, megagram is a ton, now which equivalent to 2,345 million tons of carbon dioxide. I'm the young people, masigi values 2,345 million tons of carbon dioxide. See, Imphal, Manipur ki Loktak khakta tak capture toro layer carbon dioxide. Once we remove this and put somewhere else, this is already locked. Loktak ta dum leragadi ma se pathar kani due to the microbial activities. Adhe carbon dioxide se release hoegi nahi. So before that we have to capture it, process it, and somewhere we use it. So that is been fixed. Now, if the rate of carbon credit is 15 rupees, 15 US dollar, 15 dagina 25 US dollar about the exchange the way carbon credit say. So one carbon credit equivalent to 15 to 25 US dollar in international market. Company to company it differs, country to country it differs. So India now is very much ready, and many private sectors or private farmers are now selling their own carbon credit through either rubber plantation, coconut plantation, or arecanut, any type of plantation. So they are selling, they are exchanging money with the carbon credits they earn. So the log carbon in the soil is around 3.3 million megagram. Soil is at least Fumdi gi chai kuting harvest the way about carbon credit khara dia dum laire. Aduna masida finally soil ga Fumdi ga punjal luraga ani se e torokanda koigi at the current stock of what you call the carbon is in somewhere grand total is 435. You can see here in terms of crore, it is unspellable digits we find. Okay, this is in crores. So US dollar, you can see how many US dollar, 35,356 million US dollar. If we multiply by 80 rupees a dollar, we are having how many crores? 282,853 crore. That will equivalent to Manipur ki koi ki paisa chahi ki proposed to budu ki chahi more than 100 years ki dugi hele si paisa sina. Hauzik koi ki Loktak ta le ri paisa se. Tasengna sigi paisa se koina ubo phangagati. If we develop some good technologies to harness this locked carbon or sequestered carbon in the name of Fumdi, Manipur will not be poor. Maduda tariba khundadra leriba mi lakh mari manga akoyuda leriba, they will become millionaire in a single year itself. Sigi portsima koina khangba masange. But the actual carbon credit has to be accounted on every year basis. Handai chahida sukle rami mathak chahida kayam hengale have a poto koina so the womsange. So that differences is the credit earned. Adugi earned torokado credit to na open market athado kado ise. So many companies are there in India as well as other countries. If we just showcase it that Loktak Lake of Manipur is ready to sell this many million tons of carbon dioxide carbon credit, many companies will directly jump and land here. They will be ready to purchase it. Aduna paisa gi carbon credit ta gi koina paisa yam laina tanma ngamani hai besiba thamjage. But there are still challenges involved. So what are the challenges and considerations we have to make? So the accurate measurement of this the reporting and verification of carbon sequestration. Akoi tamda tawbuga ising da tawbuga khera khenai. Kam tamda tawbudi remote sensing through the koina measure tawbu jai. Ising da lebadi ising mathakta leba khata yengba yadam na manung da su lebani na ma se sampling toroga ma se sequestration ki rate se koina on bam sang. So that should be very scientific. So need for a baseline study. Aina hazik panjagri base 2022 ki data nahi. Latest data da kari lahe base koina ground truthing toroga estimate to wom su change. So then institutional mechanisms, LDA or SU, NGO, any other societies, private or scientific agencies, they all should come and join together. Mi ema khanga to wayaroi. Environment climate change na tawninga ga su itomdra to wayaroi. LDA na tawninga su itom to wayaroi. They have to engage researchers as well as the public surrounding the Loktak Lake, the beneficiaries. So we can overcome these challenges. So way forward, what are supposed to do? This is the recommendation. What we are supposed to do, see blue gold mines, harvest the what we need to do. So here the first initiative is a scientific carbon audit of Loktak Lake. Okay, environmental science di adum yam toina tawi carbon audit se. So that ecosystem sigi oiba carbon credit sima akoina phajana audit tokthogum change. How much we have next year, how much it is going to have. The development of Loktak Blue Carbon Project with community participation. Without community participation, it's not going to be success. So everyone should have benefited. Communities into benefit. Pidri bhauba fundi je se nabi biaroi. So this is a very important point. Collaborate with national and international carbon credit registers. If you Google it, you will find so many registers, societies who are ready to provide you the carbon, who exchange the carbon credit with money in terms of US dollar. Integrate carbon credit mechanism into state wetland policy and climate action plans. Otherwise, there is no such carbon credit mechanism in state wetland policy till date. You know, have the Loktak the carbon credit ki value fangane se kanam ta thajar do. But there is a great scope. Internationally, it is recognized. So Loktak has a great scope to harness whatever we need through this carbon credit from the Loktak Lake. Conclusion. So overall, this Loktak Lake stands as a natural gold mine for carbon credits. Now I think many of you might have understood, at least partially, why I am telling it is a natural gold mine. So it offers the climate solution while afflicting local livelihoods and conserving fragile ecosystem. Fumdi to the Fumdi is how the Fumdi is proliferating. That we have to understand. The excessive nutrient growth se otherwise there is no question of growth so fast. Chahi the magi growth like several million tons never. Young rubber biomass never. So excessive nutrient running through the river basins and the paddy fields. Maduna, one of the reasoning. So ultimately, the last point is hence Manipur can pioneer. How's how the Chilka Lake, Ojana Supanjire, Chilka Lake, even Guwahati the river, Dipur Bill. They also have some biomass like Fumdi, but not Fumdi exactly. The water hyacinth and so many other macrophytes are there. But the resource what we have is completely different. It is semi-solid or semi-terrestrial world. Loktak, the river, Fumdi sings somewhat, is a semi-terrestrial world. Fumdi the Yum Sabajara never. The Yum Sabajara requires this should have not less than 1.5 to 2 meter thickness. Adu thickness requires a yamna supportive of biomass. So that biomass, if we can utilize it, so that utilization should be, nature-based climate mitigation. So climate will be automatically coming here, and by blending traditional ecological knowledge with innovative carbon financial tools, we can earn millions of rupees. Forget about the state government and central government to lay for management and what we are talking about sustainable management or conservation. If we have money there, this money can be utilized for management by many agencies. So with these few words, I would like to thank and conclude all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker chatina amtang khangjaningi. Asai ojana carbon phumdigi biomass carbon hotpiribo volume je. If I ask you the spread of the Loktak, ojana sa 287 square kilometer panbire, but LDA officially 236 square kilometer. Ada Loktak ki entire volume boundary ki area je. Asi fluctuate tawrisiga ojana carbon gi angkal hot pirisiga boundary gi dispute laibisi adi if ojana 287 the whole normal level
287 the whole is
LD gi 236 the whole level
yes 236 236 se ai ngai sai do ising chaw matam da ma se hendora ga ma gi area se pakthore ba so jurisdiction se Loktak na demarcate or is the only manak level lake khana du khakta ne ba. But it has some additional small pockets which are in between. Adi Loktak ki manung dusu chapchana challe hai sunata public issue pata paida ba. But that should be a natural unclassed landmass. Adu dai na kharaga hena parse because this is a resultant of sensing map se sidai ki taro hot pane ba. Ising chaw matam dai tare flooded situation. So in that flooded situation, but the figure for Fumdi will not be wrong. Ising paksa ba khakta ni Fumdi di magi circle du the hot pane ba. Circle.
Thank you. What are the direction the
Yes.
Thank you very much.
So lastly, I thank all the organizers and all the audiences over here. So relevant to this year I have proposed one project particularly targeting this Fumdi. So through NMHS, if NMHS permits to establish 1 or 2 plants there to utilize this biomass, but how to utilize it is a big question. fumdi je khokala ni kari desi nadu na leba. So this has to be converted into biochar through pyrolysis. So that pyrolysis machine already I have patented. Through that project, if it comes, it will be established in Loktak, and all the surrounding area people will be benefiting from that biochar machine. So it will be producing not only biochar, it will be producing hydrogen gas and methane gas for cooking purposes, and the vinegar for organic pesticide. So 3 products will be coming out from that project if it goes through. And of course, I believe that this project will, if it happens, then there will be a devastating change, I should say, drastic change in positive course for conserving this Loktak through utilizing this biomass. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next, the Department of Civil Engineering, NIT ki Professor Albinona presentation. Ja kanona di convener chingkai na di hai biram dong male do yana ka di 20 minutes the speaker singje ja bihari di saptana 20 minutes sema la ko male adai da limit.
A very good afternoon to, first of all, to the Honorable VC Sir and to all the students, faculties, and my dear experts. Hojik ozana hojik mamang da habi ki do continuation la ko isi am chana the topic se. Ado ngasi presentation se aina share towing badi just as a faculty ko yam chamna akoi faculty na leibani faculty mo na koi na thoraga practical purpose da fumdi si karmain toraga sijina ba yagi haiba koi na toki ba findings kara mayang mamang da thamjage si matang da ni ko first da koi na tokdu si fumdi si akoi na biochar na ozano ji habit badu akoi na already own gre research torokar findings kara laikre atogi findings to publication in a lake, Tazana Banaya publication observed me. Aduga Sigi biochar or activated carbon high from this CGC, Aquina Siginaraga, Lepta test or filters are ising trutore, Karikari trutawi, iron removed tore, Adugi Wakaida Wiki to Piggy of Rani Fi, Lake of Wiki dice. Moidi Tolwa dice, my truth of the Queen approved or when publication tokre. Aduga it is just a laboratory scale. Other equator engineering in a big scale da kabina sijina sige big plant kabina same sige hire equina filters designed to nona bohona bada equina huziki anobo technique machine learning artificial neural network ko kitang sina research la adu sijina raga quina acho so plan design to ba adu amu validate to kam chung da have to adu experience me ando diza ga si quite first Loktak lexi the like fundi si me am na kangnare adu si kayam na homogeneous oibra haibadi Loktak lek tagi aina fundi khara lokolaga aina product ama sena matamda atopa jaga mayang falom dagi am low matamda managadra haibam la yam samna haibda parleji biscuit se adun taste mani dana chahi yang ki dagi ko sumain to dana moje homogeneous oidragadi aina sari ba product si my uniformity la roiba aduna khoi study to na bhon the side hum lokale kaibulam zau ko sendra sne karigi residential oibini na ko kaibulam zau na karigi sangai lebigi adagi things na khoi sa to discuss to ka chana ba jaga yeng bini mahum mahum se khoi na fumdi se lokale yam sam na hijab da fumdi se lokot laga khoi na ma si collect tore ko si just utpade na shun collect to ga khoi ni hana na to si ma si activated carbon na semani adudagi aina sa hijariba khoi absorption test ina tawrani aduga achoba plan achoba design toba asigi so project la orgulay ko say ucharake first aina su maruina khoi students faculty fraternity mi am laibina karam main tawdana fumdi se khoi na activated carbon sa ga hebse mi atopana saramba activated carbon lai ko atoputuba product gi khoi na sari su kitam modify to khoi na adun first khoi na activated carbon si low re fumdi se kanghal le segregate tawre aduga heating se khoi ozana sa habiramba pyrolysis habisina mu oxygen yaw roi doine ba ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯔꯤꯁꯤꯅ ꯌꯥꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯈꯩ ꯄꯩꯁꯥ ꯆꯪꯗꯅ ꯁꯦꯝꯕ ꯂꯥꯏꯅ ꯁꯦꯝꯕ ꯌꯥꯒꯗꯧꯕ ꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯃꯤ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯃꯩꯇꯥꯟ ꯁꯨꯡꯕꯒꯤ ꯇꯥꯏꯞꯇ ꯁꯨꯡꯕ ꯌꯥꯒꯗꯧꯕ ꯀꯣ ꯑꯣꯛꯁꯤꯖꯦꯟ ꯌꯥꯎꯗꯅ ꯅꯠꯇꯕ ꯑꯣꯛꯁꯤꯖꯦꯟ ꯌꯥꯎꯕꯒꯤꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯇꯦꯁ ꯇꯧꯏ ꯌꯥꯎꯗꯕꯁꯨ ꯇꯦꯁ ꯇꯧꯏ ꯄꯥꯏꯔꯣꯂꯥꯏꯁꯤꯁꯇ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯊꯪꯗꯅ ꯑꯦꯛꯇꯤꯚꯦꯇꯦꯗ ꯀꯥꯔꯕꯟꯁꯦ ꯁꯨꯡꯉꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯇꯦꯁ ꯇꯧꯕꯗꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯐꯥꯏꯟꯗꯤꯡꯁꯇꯣ ꯑꯩ ꯊꯝꯖꯒꯦ ꯏꯍꯥꯟ ꯍꯥꯟꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯐꯨꯝꯗꯤꯁꯤ ꯆꯦꯛ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯑꯦꯛꯇꯤꯚꯦꯇꯦꯗ ꯀꯥꯔꯕꯟ ꯁꯨꯡꯉꯦ ꯁꯤꯒꯤꯁꯤ ꯑꯩ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯝ ꯎꯠꯆꯒꯦ ꯀꯣ ꯁꯤꯒꯤꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯐꯨꯝꯗꯤꯅꯤꯀꯣ sida fumdi ni khoi gi laipak way soil way pambi way to ko adagi sing na akhoi activated carbon ne activated carbon is akhoi na makhal ani thokna khai do e amana kya akhoi na kupna sugai da ba kara dum granules way ko tang thada jai mai tan ki type to adagi amana activated carbon si sina kara kuppe ada si activated carbon si akhoi saraga magi study to matamda x-ray lo matamda magi surface area si gram amada 4.7 meter square yawe adugi batik surface area wange ado akhoi na yariba makai kuphal laga amuka yengbani aduda yamna kupataraga di pot se koi telecom powder ki type ta laga amu engineering field or real filtration to buda khara awaba thoeba la kuping the surface area hingla habsu yadabdina akhoi optimize to buda 4.74 meter square per gram lere magi total volume se gram amada 0.017 centimeter cube space area fange pore diameter na 7.085 nanometers masigi sim jam important oi nanometers haramina yam pick prina akhoi na to se heavy metals oigera dye oigera iron oigera pukri ising ipata boigera si karmaina trap toxige habse si akhoi adu study du ne ado akhoi batch experiment to habse satru ki kiting interest oina ba ina photo hapchabni sumaina akhoi na activated carbon si hapaga ungaga pung ani umba yam lakani ko ahamba result si kamaina to have the activated carbon si firstly sabada activated to ba na acid nitric base na manung da yauriba activated carbon masagi fumdi gi manung da yauriba water molecules myam se si chingthokna ba hona bune adu space sa ga doine adu da akhoi ne acid season na si acid se makal season na re adu gi ising ju season nei ko adu acid ta su amuk ka dobi acid se mayak chomba hayangwai akhoi na kari gumba practical oina akhoi na ngasagi field oina real to ge haragadi khut thabak to de acid ta thup ko sor pudi acid mayak chamaga su chom sanu akhoi kayam na activated carbon se matik sana phang bangam gudagi se check to bagi akhoi ni acid makal yenge string yenge aduga sungba matam sida akhoi na fumdi sida ngasai acid hap se sisu ising kayam hap dagi acid kayam hap dagi haiba kitang sida research oriented ore ko optimization hai tare adu optimize ore kan sida adu edaradi fumdi kg amada activated carbon kg kya thokani acid kya sangani acid se karam be acid na khwaidi fai adu acid to ki strength na kya hoini acid to mayak chamba yare har kadi batin lamada acid manga hapchala lore adu maina khoina customize tong optimize tong sel leba aduga adugi reading findings to akhina jaga ohungi activated carbon ni ko ithing ne sandra ne adagi mafam abuda nisang pan ni se kaulum zauga ko ahum se khaji kini khenai adu ngai value se 80% sidana 85% 70% makal ahum se khenai sigi result sina takpadi fumdi sisu khoi ge mayang infal side oigera sandra ge side oigera adagi khoi bishnupur side oigera haibadi homogeneity kya oide yapana khenabdi nate akhoi ni statistical data yengda around plus minus 7% gumbalai mai khenabse khenaba haibadi mai manung da yorbang sagi chemical composition haitare ko maroina ada six na mai x-ray ni scanning electron microscope kapaga khoi ri yengbani ado ahummak si yengbada akhoi na kuthali si 2 micrometer da size da kapane ba six same scanning electron microscope da ado 2 micrometer kapada ahummak si structure se khaji khenai batum just confirm do bni ko ado akhoi na iron se remove to rakanda iron se filtration to raga lokthok batam yeng batam di masak smine to we haibadi fumdi sina iron se lowdi lokthok e lokthok to na mai masak ki film se ola ibne ko aina thamjari se fumdi gi magi kundli haitare ko magi kuthi haitare adu thamjari se adu oiragadi masak ole masak onbadadi si onbagi fibam si yamna macro site ole macro site ole habe arthadi maje chemical reaction tho izala natroga physical reaction tho izala ka hebse si sa khoi sidagi khoi ubangam me bakara diko adudagi magi chemical composition se khoi ni yengba matam da from dc magnesium calcium anamane the carbon ngatani minerals macha macha amni yoromi haibe arthadi laibak phaba mana khoi from dc huzibokta yamna laibak tiba heavy metals kumba ko industry gumba yam lai taragadi from dc contaminate to rakoi neba ko akhoi kanpur dagadi ka jawri moi ising laibak sida chromium yam thinya hoeba leather industry yam laibina leather se soft oil na sijina bada chromium sijina da chromium se contaminate to hoeba ato quite like the fundi si the high heaveny mayam put the center hair so industry liable about in industry ka later contamination with home drive ado si the upange heavy metal kashu u de si the oram gold ga yaw si the machine de tholapani ado before absorption after absorption jingam batamda kashu yapani khedabu de that means our fundi is still a very very pure gold hai tare ko mapam hum gi ni ado adudaki sisina khoina moi xrd na moi manungi crystalline oibra emo process ka check tawi yengbada su ahum jikidang khenabdi oi ado sina khoina conclusion tari se fundi is a crystalline kya oide chemistry londa adudaki kitang amorphous khara oi ko adudaki sidagi sigisina khoina ngasai du ungba matamda ungmada fundi su ungmada iron se kayam absorb tokeri yengba matamda mayam sida ubiramane ba ahambaga ani shubaga ahum subse speed hengal ineba speed yamne hengal lagasu iron absorption se kashu yen hengateba harbigi atradi fundi da iron changi se physical absorption natte chemical absorption ni haibidi ai sa se chemical loina taiba taragadi ko pot se lakpada tak tak attract to gani yusabi type da physical oiragadi makun makun changadu ni matam changani kuira kuira ke absorption helakneba aduna si finding sidagi akoina kari khangeda fundi da akoina activated carbons hazabwani magi chemical composition ja aduki matik fai aduna aduki chemical composition dunabu heavy metals iron gumba dyes gumba si bind to ngam me ado chemical absorption oibini na magi uptake capacity ya na wange iron si mana aduki matik lotho eba ko ada si sida akoigi study to matamda akoina ising da hapa kanda iron si no na activated carbon saraga yum da yengba matamda lawthok break lawthom da ba ya ising gi pH haibam lei ko sisu yam important oi aduna akoina pH se yengba matamda ngasagi activated carbon ahum se makhan mafam ahum di sarak se pH 5 6 swajana hena lawthore sigi mechanism yam lei mechanism yam saduna haiju roige ada haibagi atradi akoina ngasagi ising si neutral pH maya da iron lawthok ka herso awaba leitre kariguma acidic pH oram tardi acid amu hapata ne ba ising thakna na ba treat tongna na ba hotna ba da amu acid hapata ne ba ado okay fundi gi di kano da tai ba pH 5 6 wai da tai ba aduna fundi se ko explore hena tawdo wali akoi commercialize oina oido wali adu hujugu da thi ba da apabagi apabang ata oi ba masamba activated carbon oi bi yai number 2 da mo da torse chemical absorption heli haibidi mo da chemical composition carbon yamna yawi number 3 da even the impurity mem lothok se neutral pH se lothok panga me ba mate to si si ja ko explore to buni adada kitang scientific oi bada ina si result yeng matam da ai kitang hajake si da koina intraparticular diffusion ilobic adagi mathak is the first order second order kaina koi si data analysis ni ko si da kelom ta hajake ba si da gi so koina kari hainu u phange haibada sigi r square 1 and mathak ta lei dan ko adagi magi k1 chi square value si am p se atai na ba haibadi akoina mathematical model da pan ma tamda fundi na iron to second order ni ipan pa leba ado second order ki theory da khoni yeng bada second order hai tar de chemical absorption ni hamne ado na fundi se chemical absorption hai basa na bu makharamba scientific oiba da di thoina polymer sarga pashati nga chemical absorption sung ne ba akoi fundi masamang si ado ki matik organic oibini na chemical absorption ado ki matik thoi mathematical equation analysis mayam sin so proof tawi adudagi akoi sigi intraparticular diffusion hai se si jakoina spider web hai intraparticular diffusion si su 30% absorption yauro ba ad haibidi ngasai gi akoi gi chemically attract to ba haibasi nupa ma nupi ma attract to dine ba ado ngasai charge manadrobni na ado koi iron gumna ta ba kitang charge se neutralize ore pot ama leiram taragadi 30% physical absorption thoibanina si data snu utpanga manina aduguma potusu at least 30% di fumdi activated carbon chikapanga mi haibni adi fumdi haibse aduki man magun kyam yoge haibse si bogda khoi limited resource na khoi exploration su wat madi yari adubu pura sana haibi adi diamond dagi su magun hena leina logjai aduna aina hanin madi hujiki aina hajabuduni physical absorption also entertain adugi maximum the chemical absorption thoi mose ko ada sisina fumdi sina akoina aina ising glass am pire ising glass ma pire si bottle ama pire or liter manga pire si iron asuk yawi dye asuk yawi hadi truth tawi hadi kamai to da ge dose ke am sang da haibam le dana ko adugi dose su akoina study to bani aduna around see just that I want 3.5 grams from season ga ising liter ama truth to bangami adu 3.5 liter ma truth tonga madi liter kundri kya changani adu fumdi sab da pasha kya changki active aduna cost analysis su torpu ya ba aduga sigi analysis ta ki akoina kamai to ge da experiment haibisi akoi lab ta ngamjaba level da boundary layer to bani akoina ngamdaba predict to ya ba ko adu akoina predict to da analysis ta sina isotherms kaing lei ko sida akoigi isotherms ai yam de hajaro ge aduna isotherms sida kai hage da langmuir isotherm in subla kin left ki sine ba maung su follow to way friendly have su follow to way habi at the fumdi se completely homogeneous oide completely heterogeneous oide fumdi is manungda half homogeneous half heterogeneous oide ko haibadi ma se completely heterogeneous haibu yada ba yam homogeneous oiba parts yauri ba fumdi sida si mai manung study ni adu dagi fumdi gi khoina se modeling to roi yeng ma da fumdi se fumdi gram amana iron 7 mg na khupanga magi capacity yawe si si akoina experiment to rakhang bunate sina modeling to buni modeling to raga akoina check to we ba kitang error delay 7 digi khara de heli ado fumdi gram amana activated carbon fumdi gram amana 7 mg iron lok to poka sidi ising da 0.3 dagi hena iron yaw ya deba maru ina bishapur ade kachingnom side som da khoni yeng bada guhale ba jaga ising iron yaw yam thole ba adudi milligram the few milligrams neba adudi fumdi machi da maloraga activated carbon si khatana liter kun hena truth to bangam ne ko aduda akhina torishina practical purpose da combine to da asli batch analysis ha de koina physically hapaga umadu neba asing bada di continuous process to da deba continuous process experiment da why ko si continuous process to risha aduna continuous analysis to da su akhina data khara fange ko si data si results ina kai we have the akhoi filters in a centimeter mangadang sangkutar gadi TV da 7.4 haise pung taret makai hene isini truth to bangam me magi fluoride kya da fluoride na 2 ml per minute adudi akoina fumdi se hapaga filter masam sabada ising nong bada aina kyam kuin chalaini ai ising imung da asung tarkar reti kayam da thamgani height kyam yeng da ge habse akoina analysis loi tawre aduda yeng bada kalam analysis sai bi kar compact oi na filtration ina kar wai ba sida so successfully found the bu akoina si graph se obtain do ngam mine that means practically yum da su toraga akoi filter ising heraga tar idana bati de ising heraga physically hapa loraga ya thok da te ba adugi process so the from this the possibility le have do ai me am thamjage ado si sina publication ni atopa ani shuba from this in the kamai to ge akoina ngasai gi kano se rani fi sabo wang hi se mogi nala fi ban thada ba dyes congo red Italian blue ko waste water ni ko turin da thada tri ngai da kadi mai tru to ya ge adu su check to thokre adu gi so khen Italian blue se publication do kre adu da phang pa matam da Italian blue gi efficiency 95% phange ba ising se pra clear way moi adu moi na rani fi men akoi nala da ya kon thada ba ti ba government ki mira ka ha ba nate adudi akoi imung dagi pig lawn mogi nala da thadam ising je akoi da collect or truth to we batch process da column process da aduga sidadi 2.5 grams khak changi bil liter truth to da iron dagi am dai truth to hen ngam me adugi matek versatile we akoi from the active carbon se ko aduga pH su neutral pH da dunga me adugi mathang da sidana aina yam da explain da roi akoi na anoba akoi satra da maru ina ko hujikandi any research to da science or arts or engineering or doctor or machine learning artificial intelligence some important way ko akhui hairam te tamai ni akhui na machine learning se si da data se ha pa kan da akhui na plan acho design to bune adagi marak sida fumdi gi dos asuk yauragadi adagi ngasagi akhui na activated carbon sungbada acid hapki bdo acid asuk hapagadi aduna tra yamna haptragadi akhui performance kamai tawni habse predict tawba ngamme aduna akhoina ai mungidi ising asuk darkar lei aduna fattaba contaminate asuk milligram per liter ni nongodi ising asuk tak darkar lei haitadi phundi kaya darkar lei ni acid kaya darkar lei ni habse adu pH kaya darkar lei ni pung kaya da treatment tawni habse akhui machine learning loi design dawga thamaga akhui publication utkre sidadi loina utpadi minute pundadi nangre ko
kanoge Dr. Arlino sambab to yarabra
auto minute ta pibi ko
20 minutes
asilo jere ado si ena hanang man akhui project amus longhi ko practical da si se laktra ki project ni plan tawraga akhoina si se water treatment plan is biosin filter community based ai mamang chahi da solution kre maklang da ma kameng da ma sina nambol da ni si se akhoina paisa khudu sari ne ba si sina pukhri gi sini tru taw ne ba lengoi ga tawraga si da suk mechanism khre yawi ko yam samnam hajirage aina hainingina ngasagi activity carbon fumdi gi se si su sigumba practical purpose da hapagadi se ko NIT no sab ai project thoga ko si da so hapaga tawragadi pukhri gi sing se si sing khedab sine but the problem is akoi gi bui public kano yaudari yade ko natri ising je thadok pa tuti thude pa aduna issue ma sakre aduna sida su project la re isab lekre mayam ising yabal ang ki matum da hujide moi maintain dogdre adu aroi boina amang hajage akoi fumdi se huzik hen of matik sana nano particles sungbagi Manipuri desdi project ama lowi boina pire adu tawri nano sungagadi fumdi dagi amok hena capacity hen da ne to sim tham jage the fumdi is adu matik fai habadi aina tabada speaker amana so habi ne hai vermi composting ko chai hum mamangda ai impex hat to kre ai di har sungbagi si baba feasibility yam lei ko si bida ngangjar roiga ado session agi research team agi satra PhD imtech ma'am I thank you.
Thank you. I kan tang kangjani ren interaction zo za chinhana su za biarene su kumbira kanena ara phumdi gi to paper ni phumdi the specific focus pi bani ne phumdi gi physiochemical analysis to buda carbon oja kanona singana carbon mass kan tawre a ji breakdown to bire adan aina khangni mamana phumdi gi leiba kano se vegetation character se an original vegetation na kam leibno and anok changjala invasive species kyan leibno ado finally concluding the ja albino na nano particle ge breakdown panbi hi do ado da kano se khaitok pi gi possibility leibra adi changjalakpa paragraphs for example paragraphs invasive changjale han original and vegetation ga ani je phumdi gi assessment da
oza akhoi gi field sina mukta singna filtration medium toroga filter design toroga community based putono sarak panina vegetation si all new haraga di akhoi research am going to broaden to praneba example homogeneous oid bida mafam ohum de collect toroga book study tawri neba sida so akhoi da ari bada data man generate toroga akhoi matamang do oeba ko aduna sigi vegetation all new have sidi akhoi na sidi conduct tawre tawudabu akhoi ni yengbada hairap magi analysis sama tawraga my ingredient do hairap chang manabra ado akhoi na lobu da su ko sa aham uchiki do segregation ko tawri sa napi ka rikra de akhoi lok thoye yar bi mo kai almost physically observation da homogeneous oire har kan lokot pali
thank you ngai jare kharchu technical su oi ba ado next ti koi gi department of environmental Manipur University ki ja rajuna my presentation
learned the president of this session, distinguished delegates, the professors, all the faculty members and the experts. Actually, I invite Mutamda, I was reluctant because I didn't have much study on Loktak. Adubu, since I am brought up in near the bay of the Loktak Pansum Saurapuni, some young Magilap Neba. Adana, I am in Uchaga scientific base nate. It will be based on my personal view. Okay. Now, if you see Loktak, see, everybody knows that it is very polluted. Pollution thoi maram se yam gre ko. Adubu, hojikti Loktak se yeng matamda natural wetland mandre. It is just sort of what to say human manipulated lake. Boy, ana sources se maru oina anthropogenic boy, anthropogenic ki sources se tholakpani. Adai ko ki ithai virus lakpa se tholakpani. But since my study is on related to greenhouse gases, I would like to attract your attention on greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gas is panjaroi. The greenhouse wetland is very important because wetland is the storehouse of carbon. Carbon gi 10% wetland lay. The wetland is global warming thola agadi sagal agadi masagi aduga degrade to agadi dudalai meba carbon singsi loina thadorokna masagi greenhouse ki kaino si global warming hydra greenhouse effect hengal ka duina. In 2010, when I was here in DM College, I got a project from the UGC. Major project ma tawjarami madu methane emission from Loktak Lake. Maduda I have measured the methane emission from the lake. Maruina akoina zone ahum khaidoga masagi lake ki periphery dagi kogi lake ki town area lake ki feeder stream sina singbusing se aina methane onjarami ada uliba map sina this is the sampling site. Why methane is important? Methane is important oy maramdi kona global warming potential yengmu matamda carbon dioxide tagi methane sina 30 times hai na magi global ki warming potential lai begini ado akoin on matamda now in the stream si akoi ki upstream downstream adagi lake ki portion do the yeng matamda lake ki portion sida di yamna wangde ayam mana town area da la liba ngasai mafam sida methane gi kaino se yam wang ado seasonal wise yeng agadi moina kaino sida kogi monsoon natraga pre monsoon sida yamna methane si high oil maramdi methane emission si bacterial process ni methanogenesis high koina bacteria sina ngasai anaerobic condition da carbon si decompose tawraga methane natraga reduced form da kogi hydrogen sulfide kumba ammonia kumba singo gas pen thador kurina asai gi microbial process si temperature wangkhal agati masai process hengali ada asi utsingi si we have studied there in the kogi Ningthogongi river da degi loinu ubading amdre moyangi turel da nambol da sai utpani adubu magi emission si it is less than 300 milligrams per square meter per day smain lai ado si yengoraga di it is not quite high as well as quite low like that adoga lake ka compare to matam dadi ngasagi methane emission si ngasai kaino sidana yam hen bahai tare kogi town area sida gas evolution su yengi methane si koina lake tagi thadok si makhal ani hum root ani hum thongna thadoi ahamada diffusion surface dagi paithor bahai tare adi evolution waina koi bubble loina tholokwa ma dena tragana kogi plant ki kaino tissue gi through the koi thadokwa ma adi evolution si is one of the major root of what to say methane emission. Methane is not a greenhouse gas emission. And also we have measured the greenhouse gases emission there in Kaibulamjao National Park. See the recently DST project ma tawjaram mani adu ki result ne adu koina adu da su adu left hand side to uriba diagram se na ko ki evolution on ba khulai ne adagi amana diffusive on bani amana matai thang masena ko ki phum dagi kayam thadokena on bani adu isinga phumga yengna matamda phumdagi hena masai greenhouse gas ki thadokui changsi yam heli adu ngasai gi adagi open water ga phumga adagi kainosing gi yengna matamda phundi sina considerably higher nearly around 2 times higher high tide. This shows the special temporal variation of flux. Aduna koina methane je thadokda special ju khene mapam angam phamuga methane thadokui changse manati they temporarily kogi season wise also there are lots of differences like that. This is for carbon dioxide, and this is for nitrous oxide. Emission wise, yengagati khwai yam thadokpasina carbon dioxide ni quantity wise. Mathangda methane adung mathangda nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide sidi in terms of microgram gi chang thadokpa haidar. Evolution also has been studied. Masagi methane si 90% of the gas escaping through the bubbles only. Diffusive si yam de. Loktak ta khoi na koi bi sappa matam da masagi bubble myam thu idu madu tasena hagdi methane ngakta ni. Then another thing is that we have studied the oxidative potential of this methane. Methane jingsi, wherever methane source is there are also some microbes which can consume the methane. Madu khoi na methanotropes haina ko wi. Methanotropes jingsi top layer sida phumgi top layer se methanotropes ki kaino se population jeng wangi. Aduna makhati thador methane jingdo moi singsina chara matungde they are converted into carbon dioxide. Aduna akoina yengjaba matamda ngasagi amana khogi aerobic condition da yengbani amna anaerobic da yengbani ani si methane gi thadokpui chang si anaerobic tuna heli haibadi oxygen yawba matamda chamber gi manungda methane gi puthokpui chang bu neme because there is consumed by the microbes. Methanotropes singduna consume tawbui ne kona logi dai ana greenhouse gas ki mitigation hairagadi is very long was the process. Lake conservation the tawribasing si greenhouse the loin khogi greenhouse control to buda kanagani samna khara pallagadi akogi management si right from the origin of the stream deforestation thing ba jum dagi pukwi kal because all these generate some sort of nutrients mayam sina su khogi nutrient enriched tawraga eutrophication tholagadi ngasagi methane emission ki process si yamna hengalali ado koina alternatives yang matamda because deforestation to isi alternate energy use hai tare kogi sing bagi muhutta to energy na silagadi masagi u kapagi sangsi handaragadi then it can save up to some extent like that valley level da yangagati akogi potential source of carbon si turian si chelakku matamda carbon si origin da gidi yamna amta yawra lagte when it passed through the town area sida carbon jingsi loini yausilakpani masi maru oina kogi sewer dagi municipal solid to bai thar job to uragati masi yam thuna amuk sam thopani neutralize torga aduga biomethanation to buni then it can generate good amount of what to say gas which can be used for various purposes like that. This can be one of the strategy. The lake si treat to gadi lake to catchment as a continuum. When a lake hakta yeng banataba, we have to go from the beginning. Even akogi global warming, lake si to this nong tara lapani. Global warming tawgadi nong gi pattern do loina kai ke doini. Adu phok yauna sum puna overall holistic ona yeng ko sangrai ne khanjai. Adagi aya manusa hai partitioning the Kaibulamjau National Park. Loktak Kaibulamjau puna samnabasida it harms both. Some experts says either you do Kaibulamjau or you run for hydroelectric project. Ani sidi tongminabdi yaro ya ba. Ado didi ani se tongsha didi if we can partition it. Which partition tawraga masi effect le hendragati then may be helpful. With this, thank you.
Kenumta 강조하게 아까 이거는 품디 포커스 로이나 같이 세트 스피커를 품디도 포커스 위고 품디기 매니지먼트 스트럭처다 아이디 거는 저신한테 주 타겟 동의인데 품디기 매니지먼트 스트럭처 사이언티픽 매니지먼트 스트럭처는 또 트래디셔널 노레지 마퉁이나 피셜맨나 마치 까가 트루 코닥 채널다 마사나 시스템 엄레레베 before any species intervene to ganda adu malaria duga poinam tanga na sai phumdi training ni matang pan bibudo scientific study di khangja yam kan panjar ro duga physical assessment da phumdi se pathai pathatri ha big best example di if anybody goes inside Kaibulamjau National Park toya ga power ki marakta id isana satpanina 1996 da aina nela ga sangmoi ngamba phumdi ai wet beer to ngamba phumdi do asidi ayam laitreba yam thunna phumdi da within 2-3 seconds amadi amada jam tawdragadi jar sing tawe aduna maximum of sangai and hope they are drowning je because of this process never phumdi je weight se sangai gi weight se pubungam da luptharaga kaklak pungam da aduna ai akhoi na ju thengna ba da maximum drowning cases ju putharaga sing da tar kan da man phumdi apa ba da songa ga puthare no adu phumdi keno men duna ma lekselaga kakhal pungam da aduni
phumdi gi si training oi si of course oiramgani akoina study tawjung na tamda Loktak Kaibulam National Park ki mafam ayam da yam thana phumji lei 1 meter 1.5 meter hen thana lei pabadi paramgani aina haijari di chahi kuntha gi mamangdagi phumdi se pasile adu hana paramgani rate may be very small. It needs to be scientifically investigate haijabani ado kaigum chahi kuntha se paragadi akoina alarming oi position paramagadi ngasi leiramoroi ba adu khaptani ina panjab se I am not claiming any science. I don't want to contest on this scientifically.
Thank you very much. And matang speaker the attention basanta scientist soil science then Council of Agriculture Research lapen part mani igi dum sagi timing do 15 to 20 minutes ki limit ta unta
First of all, Honorable Vice Chancellor, DM University bu Kongno Nukrumjari, Amadi Ngasigi Learned Dignitaries Myam, Kogi Ningoina Panjarabda Kogi Dr. Pajak Kumar Sir, Atopa Kogi Faculty Manipur University, Amadi NIT Manipur, Madi College ki faculty, Amadi Satra Sati Singbo in the Kokno Kurumjari. Aseng Badi, I have crop based Kogi Institute Agriculture, Indian Council of Agriculture Research Tagi Webana, Loktak, Siki Maramda, Eko Yam Hena, Hana di Chanjalude, Tawadabu. I have say Ekogi Manipur University ki Professor Wazir Alam, environmentalist, Department of Environmental Science na engon da initiative ama tor padagi mahaki PhD scholar ani khak aigi lab ta work tawki maduda aisu associate tawbo horakhi Loktak sida madudagi ai hangna as a project oina lawbodi nate adubu puji akoi Sir Raju na pangi bikiba yamna important oiba akoigi vermi composting si hanadi me amna tongnare vermi composting se phumdi da kogi NIT ki sar na so panbigre but makoi si yamna attractive oiba product amadi thokte ado masi si kamaina enhance to boya gadage haina kogi quality leba vermi compost ama puthongna bo hona bada ayangna small trial just I started from November 2024 sidai hogi baneba ado ekoi isan binotana hairak padagi ai table se within 5 days ta I semaga tawjabani machi complete oibana tri crop ta try tawdri adubu ekoi ahamba mayamna haidi kha tawnadriba mawng amada aina organic oina puthokna bohona bani mayam masida aigidi ayambana koigi tabulation ngakta oina tawri project preliminary yamna initial stage ta leibanina mayam masida yengminasi da koigi Loktak si Loktak ke maramda koi yamna hainingai leite habidi mayamna su engondagi hena khangba hairaba ngaktani ayakti yam nauriba habidi field sida su yamna nauna tajariba koigi worker mani aduna Loktak ta leiba koi phumdi se mase koi yamna habadi ꯊꯥꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯕ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯗꯛ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯑꯣꯟꯊꯣꯛꯍꯧꯗ꯭ꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯂꯣꯛꯇꯥꯛ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯃꯥꯡꯈꯤꯕ ꯌꯥꯕ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯁꯤꯅ ꯁꯨꯝ ꯌꯥꯝꯈꯠꯂꯛꯄꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯔꯤꯁꯣꯔꯁꯦꯁ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯉꯥꯃꯤꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯃ ꯁꯦꯛꯇꯔ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯕ꯭ꯂꯦꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯛꯀꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯀꯔ ꯈꯔꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯖꯕꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯕꯥꯎꯠ ꯐꯨꯝꯗꯤꯁꯤꯒ ꯀꯦꯇꯜ ꯃꯦꯅ꯭ꯌꯨꯔꯁꯤꯒ 30 to 40% ꯍꯥꯞꯆꯤꯜꯂꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯚꯔꯃꯤ ꯀꯝꯄꯣꯁ ꯑꯣꯟꯕ ꯌꯥꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯐꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯅ 2014ꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯗꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯗꯤ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯇꯧꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯃꯁꯤ IIT ꯒꯨꯋꯥꯍꯥꯇꯤ ꯑꯣꯔ NIT ꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯃꯥꯜꯂꯦ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯔꯥꯖꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯇꯧꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯐꯨꯝꯗꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯁꯨꯝ ꯌꯦꯡꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯍꯥꯟꯅꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯆꯔꯨꯒꯤ ꯐꯨꯝꯗꯤꯁꯤꯒ ꯆꯔꯨꯒꯤ ꯚꯔꯃꯤ ꯀꯝꯄꯣꯁꯁꯤꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯐꯨꯝꯗꯤꯁꯤꯒ ꯃꯅꯤꯁꯤ ꯀꯝꯄꯤꯌꯔ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯆꯔꯨꯁꯤꯅ ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯀ꯭ꯋꯥꯂꯤꯇꯤ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯍꯣꯃꯣꯖꯤꯅꯁ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯗꯛ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯎꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯖꯦꯛ ꯑꯃꯁꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯁꯥꯇ꯭ꯔ ꯈꯔ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯛꯑꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯈꯣꯝꯍꯜꯂꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯆꯔꯨꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯈꯣꯝꯍꯜꯂꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯐꯨꯝꯗꯤꯁꯤ ꯈꯣꯝꯍꯜꯂꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯃꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯊꯔꯃꯣꯀꯣꯜ ꯕꯣꯛꯁ ꯈꯔ ꯃꯁꯤꯗ ꯌꯨꯁ ꯇꯧꯔꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯦꯖꯣꯂꯥꯁꯦ ꯃꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯌꯥꯎꯕ ꯅꯥꯏꯇ꯭ꯔꯣꯖꯦꯟ CN ꯔꯦꯁꯤꯌꯣꯁꯦ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯋꯥꯡꯉꯦꯕ CN ꯔꯦꯁꯤꯌೋ ꯑꯦꯅꯤ ꯀꯝꯄꯣꯁꯇꯤꯡ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ CN ꯔꯦꯁꯤꯌꯣꯁꯦ ꯑꯕꯥꯎꯠ 1:30ꯗ ꯊꯝꯃꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯋꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯔꯦꯟꯖꯁꯤꯗ ꯁꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯦꯜꯂꯒꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯀꯝꯄꯣꯁꯇꯤꯡ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯑꯣꯔ ꯚꯔꯃꯤ ꯀꯝꯄꯣꯁꯇꯤꯡ ꯇꯧꯕꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯍꯤꯟꯗ꯭ꯔꯦꯟꯁ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯀ꯭ꯋꯥꯂꯤꯇꯤꯁꯤ ꯐꯕ ꯌꯧꯗꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯁꯤꯕꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯀꯔꯝꯅ ꯍꯦꯟꯀꯠꯍꯟꯁꯤꯒꯦ ꯕꯥꯏꯑꯣꯂꯣꯖꯤꯀꯦꯜꯂꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯈꯟꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯦꯖꯣꯂꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯁꯦ ꯑꯦꯖꯣꯂꯥꯁꯤ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯚꯦꯠꯅꯥꯝ ꯋꯥꯔꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯐꯔꯇꯤꯂꯥꯏꯖꯔ ꯂꯩꯇꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯑꯦꯖꯣꯂꯥꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯂꯧꯗ ꯍꯥꯞꯄꯒ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯁꯤ ꯁꯔꯚꯥꯏꯚ ꯇꯧꯔꯛꯈꯤꯕꯅꯦꯕ ꯋꯤꯗꯥꯎꯠ ꯑꯦꯅꯤ ꯐꯔꯇꯤꯂꯥꯏꯖꯔ ꯃꯉꯣꯟꯗ 4% ꯅꯥꯏꯇ꯭ꯔꯣꯖꯦꯟ ꯌꯥꯎꯋꯦ ꯁꯟꯊꯤꯗ 0.5 to 1% of ꯅꯥꯏꯇ꯭ꯔꯣꯖꯦꯟ ꯌꯥꯎꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯎꯋꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯆꯥꯅꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯐꯔꯦ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯇꯤꯟ ꯁꯣꯔꯁꯅꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯅ ꯚꯦꯖꯤꯇꯦꯔꯤꯌꯟꯅ ꯆꯥꯅꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯁꯦ ꯍꯋꯥꯏ ꯆꯦꯡꯃꯥꯏꯁꯦ 20 to 25% ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯇꯤꯟ ꯌꯥꯎꯋꯦꯕ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯤꯕ ꯅꯥꯏꯇ꯭ꯔꯣꯖꯦꯟꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯇꯤꯟꯗ ꯑꯣꯟꯊꯣꯛꯑꯒꯗꯤ ꯑꯦꯔꯥꯎꯟ 22% ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯑꯣꯏꯌꯦꯕ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯇꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯦꯅꯤꯃꯦꯜ ꯐꯤꯠꯇ ꯀꯔꯤꯗ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯁꯤꯖꯤꯟꯅꯔꯝꯃꯤꯁꯦ ꯁꯤꯁꯤ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯅꯥꯏꯇ꯭ꯔꯣꯖꯦꯟ ꯁꯣꯔꯁ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯇꯤꯟ ꯁꯣꯔꯁ ꯑꯣꯏꯗꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯦꯕ ꯍꯤꯟꯗ꯭ꯔꯦꯟꯁ ꯑꯃ ꯄꯤꯌꯦꯕ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯁꯦ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯄꯔ ꯄ꯭रोटोकॉल ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯁꯦ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯐꯣꯂꯣ ꯇꯧꯒꯗꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯀꯂꯦꯛꯁꯟꯁꯦ LDAꯅ ꯀꯣꯈꯠ ꯊꯅꯝꯕꯗꯨ ꯅꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯀꯣꯠꯂꯒ ꯂꯧꯔꯨꯕꯁꯦ ꯃꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯁꯤꯃ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯋꯥꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯣꯏꯗꯧꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯁꯤꯁꯨ ꯈꯟꯕꯤꯕꯝ ꯆꯪꯉꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯑꯗ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯑꯦꯁꯄꯦꯛꯇꯗꯤꯀꯣ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁꯤꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯋꯥꯖꯤꯔ ꯑꯂꯝ ꯁꯥꯔꯒ ꯑꯩꯒ ꯐꯣꯡꯃꯤꯟꯅꯈꯤꯕ ꯄꯦꯄꯔ ꯑꯅꯤꯈꯛ ꯂꯩꯔꯦ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯦꯚꯤ ꯃꯦꯇꯦꯜ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯅꯤ ꯇꯧꯕꯗꯕꯨ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯃꯤꯟ ꯇꯧꯔꯤꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯦꯅꯤ ꯏꯂꯤꯃꯦꯟ ꯋꯤꯆ ꯏꯁ ꯃꯣꯔ ꯗꯦꯟ 20 ꯑꯦꯇꯣꯃꯤक नंबर 20 सिगी मथक्ता लेबसे हेवी मेटल लोई कौवे हाइनेबा अदुना अखोई जिंक आयरन कैल्शियम मैग्नीशियम ऑल दस थिंग्स सिसे अखोइना हेवी मेटल चिंगबनिना टाइटल ददी हेवी मेटल हाइबा मनुंग ददी हुजिकी असेंबा अखोइना किनरिबा कनो एलिमेंट सिंगसिदि याउद्रिबा अदो अदुगी दमक्ता आयहांगना ICP MS से प्रपोज तौबनेब मसी चंजलरुबनिना आयहाकसु मयामगी मतुंग इनबा तारे सर सी हाइजरगा आई लोसनजगे
थैंक यू यानी लेंजन बिरो नेक्स्ट स्पीकर
अमतंग हाइजनिंगबको कोई सर लाल बिहारी दा कोई ngасai carbon sequestration gi matang do ngasai ta koi gi phumdi phumnam iba round si mogi circle sing se fix neba sahi mada ama ani manga tara hinkalam bi ai adu moi sing sidang laura kanda atai du lam da bida moi sigi carbon sequestration potential sahi magi sisudum sar namtang wakto bion hajag hoi sir
thank you next apoi gi DM University की डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ केमिस्ट्री की डॉक्टर बिरला माइबमना प्रेजेंट तौबीने
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor W. Chan Babu, respected HOD Environmental Science, Professor K.K. Manibhushan, respected experts, my dear colleagues, respected Director Sir, Director of Environment and Climate Change, one day scientific discussion on reviving Loktak Lake habisi yamna proper topic ama oire mamangda ngang bihiba experts in various views on Loktak, especially magi problem status kari to we have seen yam highlight ore adana maramodina aigi problems and explain to those khara makadi easy ore en lokjare Loktak si yamna challenging oiba multi-dimensional of a problem ni na ako na lobby ay hausi yamna critical state leire Loktak si amo na hanagi phum da revive to ba restore to ba habisi masi oitok tabagi mong da leire haib tare aduna masi tipping point amada leire ecosystem si hausi po boda all around the world akoigi maruina wetland gumba water bodies gumba ecosystems restore to bagi various efforts sing yam kana to biri experts sing na ko akwai su similar directions da sanction na bakana honajari aduga akwai najik tawjari ba idea sida di maruina hanagi experts sing na hybrid bagi ka khatang defer toroga maruina nature based solutions ko how akwai ecosystems understand toroba ecologies understand toroga karmaina akwai Loktak Lake se treatment no da changchalak baya bagi maruina intervention technological intervention the focus to janingi loina Loktak si am chaw system ni lab scale de hek to ba experiment punamak land la pok de fail oi basi hena aina khaida gasu mayam na khangnar bo homni aduna yam chaw Loktak kumba system amasi karmaina treatment to deno in situ treatment to baya bra na tagra kam mong to baya have see a big $1 million question habita yam lubu question ne loina wetlands Loktak da atuba Manipur gi wetlands atai sing sisu yamna serious conditions still later as in among the hybrid experts in various madui causes ko water pollution increase or bagi various threats ke causes मैं हम जो explain तो weak रहे अपने चंचल की बात मोंग सिद्धि मरो इन nature based solutions सिंगनी मरम दी केनो हाइटा आई सामा chemistry दी work तो जबनी chemical treatment मैं हम तो भी आई सेम भी आई तो भी आई थक थक नंबर सिंगुम्बा technology ने दिया हम मसी में well mature अब technology नहीं but चावग्रबा lake अमा नत्रग ecosystem में दी sumba pagi approaches in the fail way na experts in haibi ba am lai ado ngasi aina propose of the idea si experts in su I opinion logzeningi manti basi whether it's going to be really feasible or not ko I am critical of commenting su I logzeningi haitare masigi system si apai hojik kanna chatajari si amrom da haragadi kitang initial stage de lai but I logical arguments in si mayam yana yaning bro ding view aduga apai sida kanna sanjari haitare mayam su heavy cray expert mayam heavy cray Loktak is full of problems see water pollution uncontrolled growth from these habitat loss lere anthropogenic activities mayam lere livelihood ki pressure am jule socio economic problem ba multi-dimensional problem ni Loktak se ado akin ngasi address to jesu di maru ina water pollution why water pollution jine kram mong da Loktak si threaten to rei no Loktak si water pollution ji khoi check to hudraba entire khoi Manipur valley da state check to hudragati Loktak si da yam direct threat ama lakani habisi khoi anticipate to jare aduna masigi water pollution ji somehow from different sources from the point of origin masagi leriba pollution to hom jaga sing da hana intervene to hoba Loktak ka tasirgadi is like opening the Pandora box problem gi makon da sangraga khoi na thi bagi puram la ne ba aduna masije khoi maruba idea di kaino hadi hana point of origin da intervene to hoba maduna madu khara chumba system am oigani na pani khanjai hojik masigi agenda da yaw bi khriba koi meeting sigi agenda da yaw busi from these ways oidora trade oidora resources the experts in different masigi views and pros and cons me ama to bi khre uchering the pictures that the Loktak si amana natural system leba amana kotho matung da leba system ani maksini ko natural system the akoina maji wetland the labor na maram oidana maji carbon sink oina akoina treat tawjabani but somehow my uncontrolled growth because of like akoigi dissolved nutrients in water the present or dissolved nutrients that drive tawraga maji uncontrolled growth ama lai habisi expert me am haibire so masigi quick fixed method haibitare government gi side ko thoga to hona basi adu mayam ubire paisa yam sangba yam problematic over unsustainable over ngasai gi practice am khang ne mase ko thoba matung da di ngasai carbon sink to carbon source oi khale ma maram di hanal trap toriba carbon gi gi poaching ji loimak air expose to khale adu amram da haraga di masi ji koi ji are we really climate change am environment ki sustainability gi work to bra haibisi ju yam chaw question dilemma am laksal e aduna masigumba poaching si kamaina koi fight back togani koi experts sing na koi oza lal bihari ne su adi oza keno su heavy kre oza experts sing heavy kre maji carbon gi am gold mine in heavy kre maji carbon gi useful product on thoga to boya be poaching ju it's a very interesting idea masi ju koi section phai na khanjai ko aduga ai koina jiji sanction jaga poaching ngasagi ai technology khara work tawjari aham haijage nanaba generator constructed wetlands duka ahum subase koina maruina work to hojik masigi discussions ga mari len to work to jabasi fumdi waste floating treatment wetland systems masi ojara ajuna ju slide khara da kogi floating treatment wetland systems ji khara dum highlight to bi khre the floating treatment wetland system sigi inspiration ji kamai lak pano adi what is relation to the fumdi ko masi khoi kita khangmam changi khoi indigenous knowledge khara khoi explore to pa ba haiba tare hana leiriba khoi gi indigenous knowledge sida because community acceptance kaima project am implement to gena ji lokta sabi batara gadi chu stiff resistance ko am chaw problem resistance ni yagada yarodra adi community de benefit oidra many questions ko aduna ngasai gi akoina ji pamjari je community de leiriba already hana le mo indigenous knowledge si sisna raga kamai to tuna masigi system ji da khoi work to ba adu loina na sai community sibu masai gi akoina feedback in terms of socio economic benefits ta changsim na bagi idea da changjan jarak pani from the base floating treatment wetland system ji masigi floating with treatment wetland system ji masi anu na teko I don't want to claim it's new ko masi hana le system ni different cities da magi different adaptations sam le but what is unique in our system is phumdi has a more naturally hana floating system amna lejera bane ba masigi magi ecosystem service mayam lei akhoi water purification da habitat ki leiriba jiba terrestrial habitats provide toba agi loi na ngasai gi akhoi gi nga mayam leibagi magi jaga sing piba ko set area mayam piba magi ecosystem service mayam lei but one very interesting thing is like phumdi is a natural waste water recycler ne masi akhoi mayam na khangin biba phai ko aduga magi paper mayam lei masi kai phoba question na bi but among the haragadi phumdi is a response natural response to the lake ecosystem de laiba threatening of position ki natural ecosystem response ne masi akoina lakes na macha masana masabu kanjana bai damakta pambayam thiba matamda phumdi ji taba wane ba phumdi ji akoina yamna uncontrolled growth lai ji laiba nutrients ji uncontrolled way the lak pane ba neighboring farms in the mamagi expression habi neighboring farms in the fish farm laiba adi agricultural land laiba ko moi mayam jina uncontrolled ba unsustainable mong da hogi maruina hogi fertilizers sinaba then fish feed ko fish farms in sinaba sugum bajing sinanga sai nitrogen and phosphorus ki waste adu ki batik lakhre hogi papers to mayam lai ko aduna masi ji kamai to ga kanda masi hoi phumdi se hena chau thorna marama mo khale ha ba but the good side is other side of the coin haitare atuba making the yeng bataraga di mana to isi kaino haitari nutrients hena process to honest ban haitare so this idea is khoi si idea khoi da lokhat charaga khoi floating treatment wetland system ji khoi na masi idea khoi kitang next different next step of the move to no ba khoi kitang bioengineering as well as like khoi ecosystem engineering to system ji design to jabani aduna khoi principle of circularity khoi idea ji yam samna harabada khoi waste khar leire adu eliminate pollution khar thoe masi khoi remove to pa me aduga nature in the process regenerate to pa me adu regenerate to was the su ke doge ha kanda madhegi by product of this particular process masi khoi society benefit piba in terms of product ko khoi si pamje hai tare adu khoi gi system sida masi gi 3 key principles na khoi gi keno orga yumpham oiraga ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯄꯣꯠꯁꯤ ꯀꯔꯝꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯄꯨꯁ ꯇꯧꯁꯤꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯑꯥꯏꯗꯤꯌꯥꯗꯨꯅꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯋꯥꯔꯛ ꯇꯧꯖꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯐ꯭ꯂꯣꯇꯤꯡ ꯇꯥꯏꯞ ꯋꯦꯜ ꯁꯤꯁꯇꯦꯝꯁꯦ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯈꯪꯃꯤꯟꯅꯈꯤꯁꯦ ꯍꯥꯟꯅ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯕꯅꯣ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯐꯨꯝꯗꯤ ꯂꯥꯛꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯉꯩꯗ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯐꯪꯁꯟꯁꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯂꯩ ꯏꯠ ꯁꯦꯜꯐ ꯏꯁ ꯏꯀꯣꯁꯤꯁꯇꯦꯝ ꯏꯀꯣꯁꯤꯁꯇꯦꯝ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯚꯦꯔꯤꯌꯁ ꯐꯪꯁꯟꯁ ꯂꯩꯔꯦ what is interesting is that masagi magi nutrient recycling, especially in terms of nitrogen, phosphorus, COD, BOD changes ma'am se system there in situ manipulate to room idea see but of course it's dependent on many factors masagi how pambi sing pambi sing optimize to system that is used to where see control to is an issue adubu masigi features he in situ treatment to way ani hadi ka pumdi masamak hana already Loktak sing the layer system level. Now how to modify this pumdi to our advantage sinigo yam murubu question diko aduna akoina tawsi pochi kamai tawgeda we are coming up with this pumdi based floating treatment system. These are illustration niko different set of design kha tawjare design sing je koi manual koi Department of Environment and Climate Change na upcoming prediction the phumbi ni ya bire question moise aduga idea di kaino haitara gadi phumdi ji akoina sinaba ko as a floating treatment balance system phumdi ji sinaba aduga magi koi different layers koi create tawraga different masagi koina part the thengnariba for example Loktak thengnariba magi problems is address tawna bana koi multi layer ba koi system ko koina semjari si system je hojik koina waitu phumno part as a trial oina ko acho Loktak da koi thadringai da khara hana ma tawna bana hojik kana sem sadana leiri aduga masi je most likely handaki monsoon lor padati masi koina work tawragani khali koi kana process ta leibe ko so idea here is a system sustainable material that used to know growth of from these from the organic waste the tower some seedling tower from it is a very long continuous process from these young query I saying the haragadi but the rate at which our Loktak see degrade the growth from these time lex lady haitare aduna yamna thugada monda intervention ko darkar oire the timeline haitare ko Loktak si degrade to silaba sijala ko matam siga akoina intervene to siga technology thi di humini ko ni to ga matam si loi mangi dore ha ko aduna akoi idea di kaino haitare di magic koina ngamba khara ji kaino hana tawjabagi idea do ni da tawisi ko aduga layers muning bi 14 treatment well system ji atopa system ji gam yamna ma dabni nandi yeng bio ji biomass yauri native plants ko root zone khaidokpa adi 14 system ji biofilm ji koina produce bagi system ji yam different way bani ko atopa hana 14 treatment system kha khena bani adigi di akoi hojik simak se aina public discourse of the mumdi kena si se pa kitang study khen tok jani hai tar ko I don't want to overclaim ke si percent phare hai bana te ko ada akoi gi target se maruina nitrogen cam chang pa phosphorus cam chang akoi target removal si koi calculation kha tok jari adagi akoi gi leriba ji fundi 14 treatment well system ji gi koi design ma tok jara ga ngasi per gram ko per day removal efficiency je respect to all the typical influence sanga iba waste mayam g milligram kal sang pir pono wa target concentration ji kano ha bi koi cc target si achieve to ya na koi no ji kana honari aduga loina na sigi pochi koi feel the actually ko koi na khangja bi ga feel actually phangmang ang madra ha bi yet to be seen ni aduga koi ki maruina one component of this particular system ji kaino hai target di koi plant species se ko Han lermiba natural water bodies, especially Maruina, Loktak Lemije, experts in invasive plants, ma'am, Hanchangzilla Poco, Maruina Napier grass, the African grass, Amleko, buffalo grass, Muji, somehow Manipuri introduced for various reasons, Sangsala they became more invasive. Aduna Gavita Atogi traditional native plants, examine over to Nitoxlapi, Podamala. Aduna Gedoga Hakanda, Muji. Satina ke aitare akoi waste biomass waste puthropa adugi poaching se akoina kamai to ya ganda leiba pumdi sing sum ko thoga sum chek to mota our idea is to replace the invasive plants through the native plants in this particular system ko aduga sida akoina physics decision matrix di kamai na pambi ji khanga to no karam ma khanga no sidi aya ba mapan gi leiba system du ni ko Manipur gi plants khara dum mention to jage sigi Manipur ki plan sing si akuna hajiki haiba floating wetland system si da akuna introduce to pame maruina ga ga khoi Manipur hojari batau kolami pan yendem singju pan ko lafurit kona sum si economic value yam lai po ngak tene mandi akhoi ki hojik Loktak kan ba wetland kan ba si community participation yaw dri shong amwe kana community participation yaw ba habi si kaino haita gari masigi lady ba particular khoi wetland system that lake si community the benefit pi ga da bane haji akoina Loktak si ma overfishing tawi kai si because socio-economic pressure duna maram moiduna manga ya phadya de munungi problem lebani ko aduna haji akoina khanjari basi kaino haita di local native gi planting wetland planting si masi si akoina introduce to wi ba Hana lady bang as I gi invasive waves but in due course of time replace the bako. One quick fix solution di late man di Loktak is jam complex of system in ako. Aduna akoigi is Manipura pangiba maruina edible plants ogera aquatic plants ogera adi kauna gombayam pasaya na thokpa plants sing tawraga na moigi alternative source of income je pita gadi masi management as well as ngasai conservation da khoina ngasai gi keno to guni haitar help to guni haitar ko ada sigi system sini khoina ji kana work to rise so magi advantage khara lai mam di maji ecology adaptability and resilience lai because ma fundi based design ni adi ma koi local and biodegradable materials emphasis nei my cultural engagement ogi maruina community engagement si yam gari because already ma social acceptance hana lai ba poni adigi because maji from the base of habitat creation biodiversity supports them phangani cost effective way when easy deployment idea is can decentralize wastewater treatment in Manipur yam laite ba we centralize of government amani sari ko but it's costing a lot of money aduga masigi poche kamai to ga kanda hogi amot pa singje one jaga da lau habi ya ba nate ba different sources se lag mani ko aduna hogi idea is kamai da am decentralize over hogi wastewater treatment system ama kun device to ba at a very low cost ko adu community level da kun isam jamba training masam sakha pi daga no eta saro no eta tawro operate tawro ko hogi ngasai gi government involvement yam yaw da bita like in terms of NGO or self help group da pitfo ya ba mu to no na ba aduga this system should also be a sustainable food production system ko me chana ba hogi food security amadi lei ne issue lei ko adu hoi be lens da mayam na increasing percent no no ai ken haita di moise hogi food production system on kang ne ba hoi chana ba gi hingna ba gi maram oi bina masigi system jing je adu ba gi pochi da on thong na ba khona ba aduga ai haijab ni integrated hoi han lei ba wastewater treatment system da masi integrated option ba hena ko adu hena sustainable oi mong da ke haita le khoi sanction ba ya gani na khali I acknowledgement of jage akoi sigi work si Department of Environment and Climate Change government Manipur support to bibani akoi director sarju si lady department officials sing na akoi bu yam support to bibani akoi I want to thank them ko adigi Manipur University experts yauri collaborating students ko akoi vice chancellor and registrar for DMU for supporting the MOU waito from part of project ma government of Manipur Department of Environment and Climate Change na lead role wi daga ko sigi makha ta observani sigi pochini apina share to jani je puna makpu thank you ai to tawi
thank you da bela ngang mo khor waram mani
kha thanks lai
ore na mo mayam reaction da mo khar kumbiro last speaker se last and youngest speaker Rajib se hana kanoda khigi Bhubaneswar gi Kit University da yang kuine lera bani hojina Manipur Technological Innovation Hub da lera ma ki presentation mayam tabir
ahamba maktada akogi Sir Chan Babu, Vice Chancellor of Manipur University, Sir Professor Director Climate and Environment Change, agi esteemed colleagues, aingon de senior, aingon de high level akogi jury member ma'am, aduga my dear friends, students and friends, ado I jo ngasai akogi taong kainona haibe matungina samaina Loktak ki matang da samaina wangang wo haibe tuki ai samaina lakjabani So title the ma'am the Fumdi that you're doing, so I'll be touching on Fumdis. But Fumdi is that there are lots of opportunities. Satraju Mamiari research scholars Mamiari. Fumdi is the way of a Tabak Mamlady. I'm standing in front of you for what I have done for the Loktak. Like I know I see ma'am among the Lepaga Wanga Bangamije. I know Loktak see the Karigum I get PhD postdoc Jabanga Mureva. Aduduna ma'am na second be vital. Aduduna without wasting much of the time. From ecology to innovation, ma'am je ngasai degi Loktak kan bakotpa ma'am hainare ko. So hujik se thabam to bahai ba matam da paisa changi ko. Ado paisa chang ba je kai gumba if you are coming up with some innovation, if society is going to be benefited, society the kana bo oiragadi governments are ready to help and support. Hoi paisa yang ba pipa do, that is a different story. Ado duna from ecology to innovation, scientific opportunities in the Loktak Lake. Loktak Lake sida kari to way agesini ko. This is my brief professional journey. Aina sige professional journey happy je aini am high recall and hapsa banate. But aina for the last 2011 ne aina Loktak sida work to bahok jarai je including my PhD and the postdoc. Aduda sida project na am igre aina national international grant koi society for wetland scientists na sije chhatra faculty ma'am na dum tha ba ya bang atane moina ije anirak funding support ogre Loktak ki work to boda adude amana Ocean Park Conservation Foundation na moi Hong Kong based organization ne moina mo Kebilamjao National Park ki aina sangai gi da work to boda support to bigre IGLR International Association for Great Lake Research na moina mo international travel granam pigre UCRI DSC je koi mamang da covid to boda India dina Department of Science and Technology UK dina UCRI taraga koi gi early research career cycle faculty ma'am ji ki koi gi cross collaboration water for all na sige je tawone physical tawdam ne du covid like na akhoi je samaina hybrid motor tamaina tawga sige je tamne du ai hujik Loktak se ai hujik som the innovation gi the work tawga jo I have some collaboration in UK a university ahumga collaboratory University of Nottingham, University of Portsmouth and British Geological Survey ado akhoi mamang da hujik Loktak the deep study in theory akhoi hujik ado hujik se irang lai de gi khatang di kaino to yaithui ado mathang lak chere CDI skip tok jarage mayam na hobo de gi loi hare ado population je Loktak ta ngasai gi major issues and problem lai je population gi ju role am chawe sigi je census data 2001 ga 2011 ga ne hujik gi factory ado duna ngasai gi population je sum hengala pa haitare ne Loktak ta leiba mi masing je sum population hengala pa Manipur da ngasai gi thabak churaga ngasai gi yum je livelihood che leirak tam ni na Loktak ta ding ngasai gi natural resources sing je mam leiba ni na mi jing je tawong khang dam ni na Loktak si da sangaga adugi resources sing do ba kaitare lauraga adudagi moi je livelihood tan badun ado sigi jina mu Loktak manung gi ni go ithing thanga karang manung da population kam lai ge do ado si je chamanai 2001 ga 2011 ga ni ado population je dum thanga gum ithing gum da di nupi ni hele na according to the census dum yawi go ado si atlas of Loktak akhoi gi LDN na form ba map to the gi ni na form jari je mayam loi khang ai na PhD horam dai ji da ai kai to bai to makta Loktak su story no je ai mayam thai jar ke ai ji PhD party dasan da tawe Trichy Tamil Nadu da ne ado Tamil Nadu da dum PhD to we ai PhD je ado aina kai gumba Tamil Nadu da PhD to ga di kanab do moi gi win kan hau ne ado ai je yum ju am thongning bai tare ne ado di aina Loktak lek si da taw ga di yum da thokpa phang ne na Loktak se taw gi bani ado Loktak lek si da taw ba ji da kamai taw gi ji da aina sum literature je search of how ba ji da lots of issues and problem never ithai beres ki ko adu dagi from the proliferation adu dagi socio-economic conditions adu dagi pesticide season na rep there are lots of issues and problem adu ai gi PhD do ai ngamna ba khra topic ti tawi I'll just share you some of the important things ngasai ai gi mamang the speaker ma'am na jungam bi graph from the matang da so Loktak le ki kwai dagi li raba Lancet image sai ta ne satellite image Lancet ki ni ko 1977 gi ne adu sigi jai publication oina laibani go ma'am na interest le ga de ado aina 2015 gi jina khoi gi IRS Indian remote sensing gi satellite ki image tawraga land use manga khatang tawe ai gi interest da aham badana open water bodies ma'am loi tawna gre second dana khoi gi agricultural area Loktak manung ji da kana na agriculture tawge je third china khoi gi from this with thick proliferation from the yam tha nga sai gi town Salam Rajesh naga happy mini padaga kasutok dedo adu fumdi within proliferation aduga yellow in a settlement area nigo adu 1977 dagina 2015 jida land use cam change together ngasagi highlight tawriba parts nigo adu tuna ngasagi 1977 dina 2015 jida minus is a fumdi area je khataneba atei DMBU ne open water bodies su hengalakani agricultural area ju hengalakani settlement su lo hengaleba adu ngasagi fumdi ji kai toke da ngasagi thick fumdi as well as thin fumdi ji handareba kai gi na kan da ngasagi ngasai ma'am na su panbigre ko gi Loktak Development Organization of France gi funding Loktak ga government of Manipur na ngasagi central part of the Loktak to adudagi fumdi Loktak ngasagi water bodies open water bodies to enhance ong nabagi damakta adugi kaino ado makhada jo ijare go IC gi publication do ado matam jam pi dam nina ai khatang thujan jarage ado ngasai fumdi gi matang da yam ngangna re sir ma'am na jo happy ado this is the life cycle of a fumdi ko winter the maji ke do sing tawni sing tawra ke do makhada gi lebak ma'am do nutrient ma'am do absorb tawra maje regenerate to kanda growing to kanda ngasagi nongju pantha ko ge monsoon season da maje flow to kaneba adutuna ngasagi ithai berries ma'am he khropa da high grade ithai berries is one of the issues for all these problems we are facing in Loktak le adutuna ithai berries like tring jadi ke do ge da fumdi je magi ngasagi lin season high grade winter season da maje makha de nutrient win la weba ko adubo ngasagi ithai berries is have de ke do ge kana maje makha da kumdhara ga magi nutrient je collect to je sumphang bangre adu phangram na ke do ke da magi ngasagi thickness je sum handara paiwani go handara amna ke dore ngasagi tonra je na hari ba ko gi min net po ge ra sangai net pa do ge ra khale ga di sigi mo gi weight je tolerate to bang mo ai je sigi je dum publication ai dum hapjaram ni go detail sing je adu da hujikta jo ai gi colleague amna nature based solution da hai go adu da ngasagi aina kamai to ge da pojong matam ji da ngasagi land use and am tawre Loktak sida population am hengale mai variation am tawre adu di kai to we age da ngasagi microbial hai je akoi gi mahik se akoi na di mioi na di mahik se phajana di khanbi da ba but they are playing a major role mahik sing jina kari Loktak sida kari help to ge do adu do gi study mai na tok jabane adu da sigi ai sampling location manga lawe sampling location manga je adu nganda paisa je khatang wang ba analysis se adu da ingon da ju funding jam lai ta adu da aina aham belau je sendram laure kaibulam jam laure thanga karang am laure ithing am laure aduga ningthau khonggi outflow mafam jida amaga lawbane ba mai microbial biodiversity hotspot je kem lagi jingna ba adu ngasai hare Loktak manung jida di kai dore mayam di ising je loina thai ko aduda water quality index na akhoi scale am lai mi na ising je thakpa je yabra da bra je adu sigi sendra thanga kaibulam jaw national park ningthau khong ithai je yengan ising je amtali thakpa ya deba it's not sweet for human consumption but ising je nga sagi moida alternative ti leitam na kai doge da ising je phutpani khangde ado ojang nga sai ma habi do fizigri hapaga water je boil tawraga tamaina adum season of ni ko adu duna nga sagi ising gi quality ji ga microbial diversity ji ga yam relation lai ko ado through metagenomics approach metagenomics se hujik sida opportunity am lai ko even students they can do metagenomics ta koina tawri ji kamai toge da nga sagi bacteria je isolate to the direct my sample je magi role je kai to ke je yeng thopoi wani ko aduda post monsoon ga winter ga ina season ani lawe season ani lawraga what are the 10 domain species akoi ki bacteria da khwai de gi yauriba domain kaino ma'am je magi kai hatare family ma'am je kana kana no ni yeng thopone ba do probacteria acidobacteria actinobacteria moi mayam ma yawi ko ado moi na kari role to ge dudi mathangi slide te yeng ji ko aduda akoina kamai to ge da co-occurrence microbial network na matawe sigi je ngasagi magi blue the squad ya origina khoi physiochemical parameters hai tare ne ising gi parameters ngasagi temperature bo haigera pH bo haigera chlorine nitrate ma'am do adu du ngasagi bacteria gi Loktak ta leiba phumdi da leiba ngasagi bacteria ngasagi diversity ma'am ji ga kamaina correlate to ke to bone ko the green and the red edges represent positive correlation and the negative correlation kaigumba majina green wegadi maje positive correlation ni kaigumba red wegadi negative correlation ne sigi map sida sigi the monsoon gi ni ko for example magnesium je khwai chaw je magnesium je ne ba ko ado mathang sigi same condition je winter da lapra lakta bra yeng je ba ko winter da di mo variation ta we ba ngasagi magi microbial density magi population je aduna aina sida haijaning idi kamai to ge ngasagi Loktak ta leiriba microbial diversity mayam je magi ngasagi water quality hai tarena water quality du gi matungina magi ngasagi magi variation je heleba aduga sigi matung ta pada muk kamai to ge akoina heat map na ma generate taweba akoi mayam na ding ngasagi akoina singdokpa akoina kanba na mayam hari dana Loktak je mahik singna jo moigi ngasagi Loktak sida Loktak se hengatnaba phanaba na moina dum tawjeba sigi heat map sida yauri ba songi right side sida yauri ma'am je these are the different functions ko ngasagi mahik singjina degrade tawri done even they are degrading some of the pesticides ko pesticides po moi degrade taweba harmful chemicals ngasagi ising de yauri ba phumdi de yauri ba ma'am do ngasagi bacteria microbes singjina moina degrade tawi atubo ngasagi akoi di kai doge ha kan ngasagi human gi ngasagi phattaba Patau DJ Hangala Panangasaki, Mahik Manai in the Prat totality Adudo Ngam the one of Gom. Aduda Aquina observe OTU as the operational taxonomic unit. Ako sees a taxonomic cutting the relate away. Aduda bacteria as in the magging asagi winter some magi rainy season gets a kamina togi and kanda Adum Sigi. Per sample je tum yeng ko location jing je tum variation je tum tau bane ko ngasai ke monsoon da yam diverse wer maduna winter da leitaba winter da yamam dabduna monsoon da maina leibani ko atu tuna sigi jina khoi ki meta transcriptomics aduni ko gene profiling ado ngasai ki mahik si da yauriba mahik sing ji da moi gene jina kai kai tauge je ado khoi first da hypothetical protein nama yawe ma je Quite yam proteins, hypothetical protein, hypothetical protein, those proteins, magi function the kang ribakambra, magi annotation the kang up. There is a lots of opportunity, faculty member, magi students, ma'am, dosigi, Loktak hypothetical protein, ma'am, the kari function of city dopoda. We can produce more than 50 PhD scholars for Topong Yaneva. Aduga, Sigi PhD scholars, ma'am, the Putopomatamda, Loktak the microbe, ma'am, Tauriba roll, the Kangamatamda, lots of new compounds can be generated. Aduga, Sigi study towing is that I want the Nungaiba in some papers and can come together. Nature review microbiology in a paper am a phone. Sigi papers in a Kahekeda. Keystone textiles are drivers for microbiome structures and function. Akwai keystone species at the Kangamani ka akwai kaibulam jaw ha ga di sangai aduga akwai kaziranga ha ga di akwai rhino na akwai chamaina kaino tori ado sigi na mo keystone textile ha je ngasagi sidana mo microbial biodiversity oba ado ma je dominant oram dabe but he or she is playing a major role ne ba duki mafam du aduda sigi paper jina ha je kamai togeda sigi keystone textile jing ja asida computational inference ha jina akwai bioinformatics approach tawraga ngasai nucleotide sequencing do tawraga compare tawa makhagi empirical evidence haisina khogi lab ta tawraga all the proof and validate taw do neba sigi these are the keystone textiles neba for example grassland haga di barco holders sida p riba ma'am jini ko ado what is very surprising to me si ma'am se kamai taweda moina sida p riba table ma'am je except aina ngasai gi re na highlight taw riba nataba ma'am je Loktak the loina fangeva, sigi micro sigi keystone texas. For example, aquatic ecosystem ko adudagi phylosphere human oral microbes. Akwai gut tagal getaba microbes. Loktak like the leiva. So I know the hiding it ngasagi keystone texas grassland the sea like damni adudagi wetland the sea like damni forest the sea like damni je. Sigi keystone texas ma'am je Loktak the pun leiva moje concentrate tawraga. Aduda ngasagi khara yaw taba yarami je asidi aina sample tawbudo aigi sample size pm bai oram ba kai ba aigi sample size chawmagadi sida hari ba ma'am je asidu lo yaram ba yai sine ba aina ma'am da share ton aduduna environmental science with the support of the vice chancellor sir if the students can carry forward this research area is going to be a boon for the scientific community and for the conservation of the Loktak Lake. Ado sigi aina ngasai de hari ma'am do sigi current genomics da bacterial operation taxonomic unit samain tawraga paper je samaina publication phongjang rego ado ngasai je ising aina phatti hai ko ma'am je Loktak Lake ta lari ising ma'am je phatti na lo hai ko ado phatraga di kai to ya ge na ai ji yenge adu dagi mamang de LD na amba aina PhD or pamatam ji da moina notice ama thome moi gi website sida nga pha ba sida pesticide season arena adu ki pesticides ki Manipur da Loktak Lake ta khwai de aham ba pesticides report to ba je aina di oiram gani ko adu de ki pesticides yam wange water quality ji ju yam phatre Loktak ta lai ba mi je long term da di phibam jam suone adu di kai do ya gen yan kan daina sigi zebra fish je ma je model organism ne ba human ke zebra fish ka je more than 70% of the human genome same ko hoi ma na nga oi je one ado ma ga khoi ke genetic makeup che loina ma nei ba adu ki genetic makeup to man na Loktak Lake ki ising ji ma je treat to ra ma ki developmental je kamaina phenotypic change se to ge to ni ko si je 12 phenotypic characters ni ko phenotypic ga di external features ma'am haitare ne ko ram di si manung to ga ga di pesam chang ba ma ki heartbeat pericardial edema pigmentation ma on the thoi ba kholi ba ma'am to ado sigi je asing bagi 72 hours ma je has to badagi male female to matching to raga ma je embryo on badagi 72 hours the normal amana samaina flow samaina develop to gutam ne ba sigi on the right side je asi abnormal ne ba mai mabuk manung da akoi gi pericardium na ising fluid accumulatory je adu dana ma je ngasai gi asi je chaw bungam dre ba adu dana sigi je kamain to ge da sigi ja koina ai ge asem di PhD je nambol Loktak ki sample manga ne nambul dagi location home nambol de location home aduna ngasai gi river ani jina ngasai gi Loktak Lake sida ke am phataba pudhara ke ju yang ba adu dagi ngasai gi magi ithai beres ka sigi ningthokong gi sida ke am phatab ji je thoki ke ji yang ba outflow je kam change kam thoki ke adu sigi mayam jing bada si unpublished data ni ko mortality ka kaino ga je sigi site 2 je lang thawal ne ba imphal nambul to range na lang thawal leukan da 5 kilometers downstream of imphal kaino je imphal city je chappa matam da ngasai gi ising je kam phibam soke da ngasai gi zebra fish ma'am je fully developed to bom tangam de ba adu dana ngasai gi sigi same ising jina Loktak Lake te yo matam da de ngasai gi thai ba mi ma'am do sida akoi gi biological accumulation to kane hoi accumulate to quantity to pick panina mount all of a sudden the ulam da ba adu long term consumption of water da to kan da di missing je laina tina ma'am na kane ba ko adu dana latest update about the Loktak Lake si kamain to ge da ai je sigi hek irang lak thring is the April I think then 25 April 2023 da aigi collaborator mogi UK dagi aina ngasai high bajing do taro khoi je Loktak ta moina le pesa pu thopani my role is just to moi help and support samaina keno to pani adu tawraga sigi akoina right side ki je tam salamra je si khangbiram gani nambul tu range da Loktak ta tabagi khonang gi hobo ne ba hujing nambul tu range na Loktak ta tari je magi original mafam da na trebe LDN ama tok thuga adu gi kaino do
one of the culprit khoi khang le do NSPC gi leiba pochi akoina corrections to bungam de degi mari modifications pi bungam de or maji bin post environmental impacts no to hon bungam de koina very akoida ka limitations ji mu ne ada aina head amoina aina du to have sungam de to hon busungam de prajan sungam de ko then the carrying capacity of the Loktak Lake nobody talk about it carrying capacity how we control the carrying capacity of it whether the labor human population se kona carrying capacity human population ki mon the lives you can control to bung amra jungam de khoda ji then magi manung the labor Loktak ta kona uris de ani ne hatare mapan dagi lakpa molhan bam gang fa anthropology habi re adagi chemical si chain reaction or chemical si lower by lower kan temperature wankhle ji Loktak ta thoibe issues ya khoi khangwa khom ne surface ki temperature bottom temperature ni jam chong khena rabne music sigi canary pot se akhoi dum khangna sanna dum akhoi kem tongam de ba sigi limitation sing je khoina kobab tong no honor pa kanda akhoi kai dra kale ge hare ge de wa kan de akhoi yamna unitely work to minum sang heta yam strong scientific approach sama yam strong scientific approach je habi ADB ge ai ge fully interact to kam bune ADB ai one of the member na de ge aham the mega tourism project like so Loktak the potential is not only the black carbon Punti khang nati bako ecotourism more koigi am prospective program ne bako ado ai gi first comment de monda have je ADB gi nupi moigi lai da have je tourism should be a byproduct of the Loktak Lake management have ne it should not be the primary project it should be byproduct when gadam ne bako but first Loktak se lake will hen je have never it may once when Loktak se sustainably when well and when mangmagadi automatically tourism to create by product ne amadi tasen aduna project when chakra gadi khoi sure ne likewise aduna oja sing kan ri am phajai
ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯐꯨꯝꯗꯤꯗꯨꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯐꯦꯛꯇ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯤꯡꯈꯠꯂꯨꯕꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗ ꯂꯥꯛꯑꯦ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯄꯣꯖꯦꯜ ꯂꯥꯛꯑꯦ ꯕꯥꯏꯑꯣꯃꯤꯊꯦꯅꯦꯁꯟ ꯇꯧꯒꯦ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯖꯦꯛ ꯂꯥꯛꯑꯦ ꯑꯥꯎꯠꯁꯥꯏꯗꯅꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯤꯕꯗꯣ ꯀꯅꯥꯅ ꯇꯧꯒꯗꯒꯦꯗꯣ ꯕꯤగ్ ꯕꯤꯖꯤꯅꯦꯁꯃꯦꯟꯅꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯈꯪꯅꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯣꯛꯑꯒꯗꯤ ꯑꯩ ꯑꯟꯗꯔ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯣꯖ ꯇꯝꯖꯔꯒꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯃ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯄꯣꯖꯦꯜ ꯊꯥꯔꯛꯑꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯏꯟꯚꯥꯏꯔꯟꯃꯦꯟ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯏꯟꯁ ꯄꯤꯌꯨ ꯂꯥꯛꯑꯦꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯅꯗꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯖ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ something ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯣꯂꯤꯁꯤꯗꯣ ꯊꯝꯖꯔꯤꯕꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯈꯟꯖꯕꯁꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯥꯁꯇꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯋꯦꯁꯅ ꯀꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯄꯨꯊꯣꯛꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯥꯁꯇꯤꯛ ꯋꯦꯁ ꯊꯤꯕ ꯃꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯂꯥꯛꯑꯅꯦꯕꯀꯣ ꯗꯦꯟ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯥꯁꯇꯤꯛ ꯋꯦꯁ ꯑꯣꯏꯅꯕ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯥꯁꯇꯤꯛ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯁꯤꯖꯤꯟꯅꯕ ꯍꯦꯜꯂꯅꯦꯕ ꯂꯥꯏꯛꯋꯥꯏꯁ ꯐꯨꯝꯗꯤꯁꯤꯅ ꯀꯩꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯕꯥꯏ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯗꯛ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯁꯤꯖꯤꯟꯅꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯐꯨꯝꯗꯤ ꯂꯩꯍꯟꯕ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯥꯝꯃꯅꯦꯕ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯇꯤ ꯃꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯐꯠꯇꯕ ꯆꯠꯈꯤꯕ ꯌꯥꯏꯕ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯁꯦꯡꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒꯗꯤꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯋꯤ ꯅꯤꯗ ꯁꯝ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯗꯤ ꯃꯣꯔ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯖꯅꯕꯗꯤ ꯏꯀꯣꯅꯣꯃꯤꯀꯦꯂꯤ ꯁꯣꯁꯤꯌꯦꯂꯤ ꯁꯥꯏꯟꯇꯤꯐꯤꯀꯦꯂꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯕꯦꯂꯦꯟꯁ ꯇꯧꯅꯕ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯗꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯆꯪꯉꯦꯅ ꯈꯟꯖꯩꯌꯦꯕꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯗꯤ ꯇꯧꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯕꯗ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯈꯔ ꯆꯪꯒꯅꯦꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯍꯣꯏ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯐꯖꯩ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯄꯥꯔꯠ ꯑꯃ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯤꯈꯤꯕ ꯈꯟꯅꯔꯤꯉꯩ ꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯂꯣꯛꯇꯥꯛ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯣꯏꯗꯣꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯆꯞ ꯆꯥꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯕꯅꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯁꯦꯡꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒꯗꯤꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯚꯥꯏꯁ ꯆꯥꯟꯁꯦꯂꯔ ꯁꯤꯟꯕꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯆꯤꯡꯈꯩꯅ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯤꯔꯛꯄꯅꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯐꯕ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯥꯔꯇꯤꯡ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯦ ꯉꯁꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ngasi tasena ay mapu yaudun khana badi oire ko yam sena hargadi Loktak development authority ki mi yaudun khana badi tasena ay gidi yaning da bani yam sena hay de kayuda ko khana ni am si answer me am lerangani mangonda ko question am si mo answer me am lerangani ko because directly handle do ni ko ko as a well known authority I know better khar dikhangi isu but not sufficient mas yaubwa ma nominum faminum darkale adabu kitang aina pusanjaning ba oja singi research hoi from government agency amana issue we akoi yam help tawjage support tawjage oja bilage akoi ji support system pira kanda aji oja bilane digi Dr. Rameswari tawga akoi constructed wetland concept asagi phum sinaraga ising treatment tawi potse huwai thawde apply taw hore akoi chathaba horabne se kainda akoi we need lab to fill lab tagi torputu field practice to chang hariba masig da akoi support koi well always stand akoi support on lejage oja singda ina haijaning basi aduga tabodabu concept am clear oi se koi kari review to see karma ai objective kari no target ken goal ken yang kan akoi support to jage bu su ko sugumba khara ai khoi research work khara hai tare ko to janing do ai more research to honjaning basi akoi na well and man nei na ba kanda taseng na hagadi indirect catchment area ani je khoi nei nei hai tare so ada indirect catchment da oiriba influence zone hai tare ko influence zone gi studies yaudren de wakanda direct Loktak tang khana bande ai kitang incomplete regulation khanje wakanda aduna influence zone lairiba jaga samna da municipal area ULB Nipan question relation magi ULB Nipan dela iba solid waste amadi liquid waste ki contribution song le haribo ko hoi hojupudi koi fecal sludge and septic management ki treatment plan je koi hadak sanction la khare government ki aduna khoji implement tok yang kan honari jik on tender phase ni jik tender torum matung dai within 2027 ko target tawjare basi completion sungsho jo ne khale fecal sludge and septic management ki tawre liquid waste for the khare control tor ne khale solid waste control toba then Loktak itself the population control amadi magi activities human activities mi hengaling ki mai waste kai chatu na question la ko praja ma hengla ko na total laiba toilet khudima kasu shape na tiam sen Loktak inside within the adugi port si achoba ai contribution lai ne khale dumba sugum study khara yamna lu da bhai tare ne ko then bioindicators singi of study ngai microfight ki kargi am study to bi ba am yogi do ai am nungai je dumba adu ai keno su ai chingkhai doina ai recommendations khop bizar ke next ta kitang panel discussion mum toraga sustainability se seng haraga de di circular way da sustainable on hon circularity ma koi lak su yaro ko aduna circular way da sustainable tongna badung ba principle ma tanglo ma sillaga ai government recommend to bio bakoi aduga sunga swedana akoi gi well and ma conserve to no hono da government dhyan pb gi rules ki matu ina akoi di integrated management plan jo sem da sunga adra IMP harje IMP is dynamic document ma de one akoi na same gi basi it should be kept in dynamic have akoi da not in static form akoi we have already submitted one IMP integrated management plan submit okre but unluckily akoi gi Manipur country sem jau ki de seng na harab da ko adubu hoi chappiana bridging ma thamgre phena bridge do government jaga khoi gile ma gap to umdi hojiki to community sambigre somebody ado hoji we need more and more explore on that management integration plans is da adra khoi kitang work to sange tare madra kitang khud thabi bim sange aduga ai am interest like jinga sig je sai bacteria study ge me yogi do ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤꯗꯣ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯑꯩ ꯃꯥꯏꯀ꯭ꯔꯣ ꯂꯦꯚꯦꯜꯗ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯑꯟꯗꯔꯁꯇꯦꯟꯗꯤꯡ ꯑꯣꯏꯅꯕ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯈꯪꯖꯅꯤꯡꯉꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯑꯇꯩꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯂꯥꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯅꯠꯇꯕꯀꯣ ꯏꯟ ꯖꯦꯅꯔꯦꯜ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯂꯩꯈ꯭ꯔꯒ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯀ꯭ꯔꯣꯕꯦꯜ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯗꯤꯒꯤꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯈꯔꯁꯨ ꯇꯧꯕꯗꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗꯁꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ ꯀꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯣꯟ ꯇꯦꯛꯁꯥꯀꯥꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯖꯦꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯐꯤꯁꯀꯤꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯥꯏꯀ꯭ꯔꯣ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯥꯁꯇꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯗꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯖꯦꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯐꯤꯁꯇ ꯇꯧꯔꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯁꯦꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯄꯣꯠꯇꯨꯗ ꯆꯪꯁꯤꯟꯃꯤꯟꯅꯕ ꯌꯥꯕꯒꯤ ꯄꯣꯠ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯅ꯭ꯌꯨ ꯁꯕꯖꯦꯛ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗ ꯂꯩ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯇꯧꯅꯔꯒꯁꯨꯀꯣ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯦꯔꯤꯌꯥꯗ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯃꯥꯏꯀ꯭ꯔꯣ ꯂꯦꯚꯦꯜꯗ ꯆꯪꯁꯤꯟꯕꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯄꯣꯔꯆꯨꯅꯤꯇꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯧꯅꯤꯡꯉꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯣꯐꯤꯁꯀ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯋꯤ ꯑꯥꯔ ꯔꯦꯗꯤ ꯇꯨ ꯁꯞꯄꯣꯔꯠ ꯏꯠ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯦꯜꯗ ꯇꯧꯁꯤ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯁꯤꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯆꯤꯡꯕꯁꯤꯡꯗꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯄꯣꯠꯇ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯗꯤ ꯇꯧꯃꯤꯟꯅꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯆꯪꯉꯤ ꯈꯜꯂꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯕꯤꯔꯂꯥꯒꯤ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯒꯤ ꯁꯤꯋꯦꯖ ꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯠꯃꯦꯟ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯥꯟꯒꯤ ꯇꯧꯕꯩ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯁꯨ ꯇꯥꯟꯅꯃꯤꯟꯅꯔꯤꯅꯤ ꯑꯦꯁ ꯇꯤ ꯕꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯥꯟꯗ ꯀꯩꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯦꯝ ꯕꯤ ꯕꯤ ꯑꯥꯔꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯒ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯖꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯑꯩ ꯋꯥꯈꯜꯗ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯃꯛ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯋꯥꯛ ꯇꯧꯃꯤꯟꯅꯔꯤꯕ ꯉꯥꯛꯇꯅꯤꯅ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯨ ꯂꯣꯏ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯁꯨ ꯋꯥꯛ ꯇꯧꯃꯤꯟꯅꯔꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯗꯔꯀꯥꯔ ꯂꯩꯔꯤ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯏꯁꯨꯁꯤꯡꯗꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯗꯔꯀꯥꯔ ꯂꯩꯔꯦꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯤꯕ ꯔꯤꯁꯔꯁ ꯇꯨ ꯄꯣꯂꯤꯁꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯁꯤ ꯒꯦꯞꯁꯤꯅ ꯐꯨꯟꯕ ꯉꯝꯃꯗꯤꯀꯣ ꯂꯣꯛꯇꯥꯛꯁꯨ ꯁꯁꯇꯦꯅꯦꯕꯜ ꯑꯣꯏꯒꯅꯤ ꯋꯥꯈꯜꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩ ꯁꯤ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯑꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯑꯩ ꯁꯦꯁꯟꯗꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯁꯤꯜꯂꯦ.
Thank you very much, sir, for all the recommendations, all the suggestions, and your valuable inputs. We do acknowledge your inputs, and we are waiting for the recommendation also. In the meantime, a clarification amtang tawjage. ALD as a invitation PJ. May atopa ima atopa kara laibadagi hijab tare joint obong bidabane. We do invite them. It is not that we are totally ignoring the LDA. We know very well that they are the authority of this particular lake. And actually, oza amasu akoi ki function se lakpada on the way accident hotana yaudreva. She yogi oza Nabachandra ki gari se accident hotna dan. So we were expecting some inputs from him also. But then there is the other side of the story. We will continue with a few more discussion, and then we'll try to draw the recommendation with the permission of the chief guest and the moderator, etc. So meantime, if anybody else want to give more suggestion, ideas, question, then please do come.
Good evening, respected Vice Chancellor and all the experts present here. Sum kitang etong ninge haibagi haijage tawne pong diam tare, we are far ahead of time. Kitang matintang haijage. Sir, the target of diniko. Sir, akoi ki Loktak ta tawba mi yam lay ko. But what we want to know is Loktak say degrade tawre haibakanda on which dynamic. Ko dynamics karamba sing sidat. Whether we are going to work for soil, water, whatever. We call it ecosystem services calculation. Aduna quantification to akanda, we are going to do some calculations. Karamba remediation pigani. Natragana karamba method to banana. Sigi pot sesa, a hoigi department, the kara initiative lobo zakar lazy, and a sarna karang katang median tangivatar. And sir, akoidi am the young generation neko. We are so young, aduga akoigi generation gi missing the kai kanagi haikanda. We want to turn the waste into gold. I gi oina di I Manipur gi government the approach kya togan tawzagande. I su model sarga lay I gi system myam sarga lay, but I go directly to Jal Sakti. Adana I di final finalist ka myam oire, but yam na young oibage. Guide to binable the high gadra and the community level this minor work to Godoni adu to Godoni Hiba Miamdo, Moy Miam no in a Tambiri. But I decided la Akanda Manipur government the approach to Gondoni Hibagi cooks and late. What I have been thinking is that I have to take fund from outside. Akoyi Manipur gise, it's already exhausted. People are fighting. Silog the biad dienas tongnalere, but I want to take it from outside. Haibagi motive talay given ever sir. No sir hoise masakya khandre vaina. But we are also working on it. And ecosystem services, the sir. Kitang my help with the others. Thank you so much.
mayam ji war ma le khoti kya thanga na raktre ade tengjel la paga question kan le traga di recommendation je na ja chinglen smai ha ji ningi recommendation je hojimok kan tok drasune ai suggestion di speaker expert mayam le re ade gi sanjoi na khara note tawre ngasi je point ani ni ohum mo jaw na pamba recommendation thabiro nangona thabiro aduga formulate tabuna chungmani na khale ai ngasi whole night se khanbiro what is the solution 자신에게 솔루션을 가이노 저라주 솔루션을 가이노 다시 나이트 타임 제 칸비로도 하행 타비로 아주나 그당 좀도 말이죠 그당 띵킹 타임
so recommendation say fill yam manadabni na technically habitu lugani ko but this is the first step haidi yam the young generation work to ko sakhang da mo zamam so khangnare ko hana khanaba zawji thinare daina first of all I really like to thank the organizing committee and honorable VC. See, we MU the su to we pang antay du taron su smani interaction and especially ngasi Manipuri University the risky program achom leko. They are going to speak from different dynamics. Manipuri mapan na ay ahiba. Chicken thong bahiba kara, irom bahiba kara, sak thong mana tab, ising jobi kara, film mana tab ngatan ba. I just talk like I can sell it. Kayo ngasi si the pundu siya. Loktak katang gina habigi. Even the crowd may be small, I'm just bothered. adu chilak adu lak chabni adu yamna appreciate toning ba khoi ozasing na ju tamjaning ba amna how the gina khusibuk loi ba VC sir hoina phambi tabiri se it's very important ko haibadi ai thabak chili phamukhi ge mayam tanaro adu recommendation pura law soi to adu haibadi te listening not hearing it ko adu sir tasile subu khoi ju tamningai oi number 2 the sir in hygienic bamna minus and be venina Sigi mathang dadi akhui paper gi wad nate kakinate pasha kaile aduni kamai kamai tobi ai tana bia boina maybe at least once in the 6 months or once in a year at least without much formalities ado ai nasu meram binota dasu dagi sa chingle nasu request tok jikibdi yam formality tok buse na ko ado yes but we need to have advertisement also ko sisu darkani na sidagi di kitang koi na productive o henje haragadi ai recommendation di Visis heard us request of the Risini, DM University, Atopan, DM University, Tawi Matung Tazarake, the young formality with just round table of Toraga, smash my Torga, once in every 6 months, and the bit of chart of Tapin the Guru. Go. So my not quite Ozana Habib, the Pashaka de Loviai, Ozakari Matin to Vi, Ozana smash my Torga, the Aquina Kari, Punbiai. Adu it automatically to her data happen like a form academic to Sukana BI, project low to Sukana BI. As well as akoy potential do tongan sana do pull up tomina ragadi yamna condense hoini haje so sigi recommendation e hajani thank you
sigi ja kanogi suggestion je aina swaina thamjaningi akoy director of environment climate change from battle office the different activities akoy every month interaction formal informal interaction je different topic the climate change environment the regularly still level Adaina part of recommendation just BC the request on Mabana Nasiki platform the country next higher platform and Chicago is very channel director Bazokumar Gatoroga DMU Gatoroga line department singi LDA water resource may invite Toroga Kitang larger higher Adi Loktak saying it's a very complex issue easy solution like multiple Ramesur the solution hanging Kananta solution as you're picking up the Ado Kungodo meeting do LDA gi NHPC gi water resource ki environment gi forest ki loina kauro phaminaraga sumroja adugi next to atuboda oja BC ga director project kuma tang title ro mayam da inform to rodi ID it will be very successful adu mase just enjoy nom samap tawodra
discussion ki kan usita oza sarita kitang Department of Environmental Science ki so muat mo kitang pipin na ba kitang
A very good afternoon to all the respected dignitaries and members on the dais. What I wanted to, a little bit add up. Masay ko gi Zara Mishuri na panbada yaw gre. Ay so hangzaning ambane because nasigi topic say ko revive wing Loktak and high benebako. So aduna akoina hangning is a different angles take the man won't walk away, but at the end akoina pamjari with the holistic approach to kari lege high than akoi mayam the dugi question adam open toraga thame. So far in a conjure up education tour the in a sum tajo with the LDG issues many decades tigi nanaragala about from mane. So far, I give fathers who wear money. I do know a bit. Even I heard from some outfits, even bomb plant only have a worry hook tazikibale. So anyway, that is another part of the story. So ngashipa wa koi chatharagala. But from our department angle, akoy na hangning is Loktak se resource ne high rege adoy taride akoy na karama mong the tham sige. That is one question which we need to know. Loktak se kariyo in tham sige. Paishata na bagi lambirom da sum yeng shira. Natragana natural ecosystem ama preserve tawshira. What that strikes a mind, because environmentalists amoy na akoy ni hingurabani na akoy di ecosystem preservation si paame, but angle kaya dagi di resource benefit utilization miyam labani na adu shu thingbang amde. So that is the crux of the scientists and the policy makers. So aduna akoy na kay daw dagi and a very hard rule adagi mo pollution study the yengkanda di point amasung non point is akoy na west thingnaraga lakbani control togi high target di point Taushira non-points in the Kamina Tigani. So that is also a very big question. So the researchers may have worked with them. There's so many research papers are there, so many. Manipur University, the Loktaki worrying at the 0.0%. Still, we can't get it. Adoy targeti, ngashidi akoy DMU na under the guidance of Sir Vice Chancellor, yam a topic am da akoy discussion gi pushan bire under one umbrella da. So adna mayam akoy na ngasi aham step and lodger ga akoy na ngasi di adugi tanja yam nungay akoy department na shin bigi yam nungay bam phange adubu way ahead way forward ngasa akoy na panjari ba ecosystem service akoy yung tang try to shira hai bigi wakalon khara akoy pausere even Kebulam Jao ga ngasay ko Sir Raju na panbibido Kebulam Jao si ko na thamsira Loktak si kansira because it is a conflicting interest. So ana sugum mamayam sa ako'y imang da karkasum tare ana ngasi di ako'y service ako'y bulito biriba hamasung ako'y director environment climate change Sir Busu ngasi di pasana ako'y gapamin na raga ama di ako'y eminent speakers miyam mga luy na raga ako'y kadaw sige and many issues are there sir. Si ma'am se harga ako'y this subject when hinga banina ako'y future hor kado satra ma'am sida ako'y nagkaram angle takadage habigi issue sila esa. So aduna the thing is how are we going to tackle the issue, resource or our ecosystem? Thank you so much.
Thank you Sarita. Makatana atopa suggestion tek pipining balay ragati ako'y invite tausari. Okay. Topa suggestion way haina ay thamjage aduga hairiba warol kharasi thamaga ay ngasigi reporter ge report ado ingatang se tension. Thank you.
Singkai na cross of birone.
Okay, ako'y maka thorom chatha janaba ako'y ngasigi program conduct of videos namtang sinajagi.
Thank you, sir. As we bring this fruitful session to a close, now I invite the co-convener of today's function, Dr. N. Sarita Devi, Assistant Professor and Head UG Section, Department of Environmental Science, Dhanamanjuri University, to deliver the Board of Thanks.
A very good afternoon, everyone. Kurumzari Punamokpu, distinguished chief guest, president, guest of honor, dignitaries, invitees, teachers, and my dear students. As the curtain falls on today's set of formal discourse, I, Norim Sarita Devi, on behalf of the organizing committee, consider it a great privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable and successful event. First and foremost, let us offer our deepest gratitude to the Almighty God for His blessings, which has been our guiding light throughout this journey, making today's event a resounding one. To our esteemed chief guest, Professor W. Chanbabu Singh, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dhanamanjuri University. Thank you, sir, for honoring us with your presence. We are immensely grateful to you for your time, in spite of the busy schedule, and for being the guiding force for today's event. Your support and vision are the driving spirit that empower us to reach new heights. I extend my sincere appreciation to our respected Sir Principal, Professor K.H. Birbal Singh, for being our constant encouragement. Thanks goes to our team leader, our respected head of department, for successfully bringing all the elements of today's event under one umbrella. Thank you, sir, for your guidance and vision. An event of this magnitude requires meticulous planning and bird's eye view to detail. My heartfelt thanks goes out to our event convener, whose dedication and enthusiasm have been the foundation of today's success. A special word of gratitude and appreciation goes to all the dignitaries who had presented their expertise and knowledge on the one-day discourse on reviving Loktak. Thank you all for the meaningful insights which you have all contributed to the course of our agenda and expected outcomes. We look forward for strengthening our collaboration to build a better and sustainable Manipur. Thank you all. Next, our eminent invitees, to name some, respected Director and his associate officers from the Department of Environment and Forest and Climate Change, representatives from various departments like IBSG, Horticulture, and IT, teachers, students who had been with us all the way to the discourse ending. Thank you all for being a precious part of our journey. A big thanks goes to the media fraternity for bringing out such an excellent idea and platform for discussing the sustainability issue of our Manipur resources. We all know media is one of the fourth pillar of democracy, and it plays a pivotal role in connecting the masses with the latest information and shaping the mindset of the people. Thank you for your active participation. I would also like to acknowledge our aesthetic singer, to name Telina Sorokhaibam, for giving us a mesmerizing traditional tour to our ancient folklore. Now, a special word of gratitude goes to our dedicated team, who has been working tirelessly behind the scene. Your commitment, attention to every aspect have ensured the flawless execution of today's occasion. The event would not have been possible without your hard work and willingness to go extra mile. Thank you all. Thank you, our team, our students, mainly, MSc students. PhD. PhD, yeah, PhD also. Okay. Next, I would also like to acknowledge our moderator, Salam Rajesh, and our reporter, Dr. L. Sanjoy Meite, who deserve a round of applause for guiding us through the discussion with such endeavor and elegance and grace and connectivity to connect the program. I would also like to appreciate the Elite TV and Impact TV for giving the live streaming of our event. Thank you. As we conclude, I'm reminding of a quote by Helena Keller. He said, "Alone we can do little. Together we can do so much." So let us carry forward the spirit of today, knowing that each effort and every presence here matters. Thank you all for a wonderful day. Thank you all.